Yo, yo, yo. What is up, everybody? Hope y'all having a good day. Hope everything's going well. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let me know how y'all doing. You already know I will be doing later on in 30 minutes. We will be doing a Manchester United Chelsea preview with Touchline. I got his in the title of the video of the stream. So if you want to sub up to him, sub up. If you watch this on the replay, hit the like, sub up if you haven't. Greatly appreciated. So I want to go early just before the preview, just because there's a bit of news. There's a bit of news. You feel me? There's a bit of news. So you feel me? So let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. Let's get into the news. All right. So what we got here going on today. What we got going on here today. All right. So this was big news today. Big news today. Here, let me boom. Big news today. I guess you could call it a bomba. You feel me? Boom. Breaking news. Multiple clubs have inquired for Nicholas Jackson, and it is not ruled out that he could be sold if a satisfactory offer arrives, people. Hold on, let me turn the light on. Cool. So again, that's big news. That's big news. That's pretty much telling us, if there is an offer that comes in, if there is a good enough price put on the table, Nicholas Jackson could be leaving this football club. Now, me personally, I think that given the recent games, it's completely understandable that brother got to go. I mean, he has sold the bag. It's been 2 seasons. I think if we're not going to get somebody to bench him, then he needs to go, right? If he's the thing that's preventing us, for example, from getting an Osman, then he got to go. Because respectfully, what he is providing the team at the moment is not enough to justify him staying at the club. Let's be quite honest. It's not enough to justify him staying at the club. It's not. That being the case, I think it's completely okay, and I think it's completely fine for him to go. Right? Another bit of news as well, by the way. Chelsea plan to judge Enzo Maresca in summer 2026. Chelsea believe injuries played a big part in the drop-off. And furthermore, data such as XG and big chances created are in their favor. I think it's a bit of waffle, to be honest. I think that it comes down to UCL. I think it's the same reason. One of the big reasons why Poch got, that brother got, taken out was because that brother didn't get UCL football. So if Maresca doesn't get UCL football, I think it's a bit of cap. I think, we'll say what they want to say about the numbers, bro. They need that brother to get UCL football. Yo, Santi, big up, brother. How's it going, man? How is it going, bro? Just going over a bit of the news today, man. So that's what we got. Enzo Maresca again. I think they're gonna give him. I think we get UCL football. I think we win our last 2 games. I think we get UCL football. I think we win the Conference League and he gets another season. That's at least my prediction. If that doesn't pan out, then I can't really say one way or another what might end up happening, right? But we have to end up seeing another bit of news as well. Again, yesterday it was reported, right? Oh, Reece James is out. Reece James is back in training today. He was just a bit ill. That's all it was. That's what they said. He's a bit ill. So we keep it pushing on that one. Agree with you on that. UCL is the only objective that matters. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying, Santi. So boom, here we go. We got first choice center backs, De Ligt and Euro will not travel to face Chelsea. You feel me? So we're going to see at this point, what? De Ligt is out. Euro is out. We're going to see Maguire and an academy kid, maybe. I'm not too worried. It's looking positive in terms of what's gonna be chilling, bro. I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Just going over a bit of the news before I do the preview with Touchline. It's not your prediction, it's your hope. No, it is my prediction. I predict that we win the last 2 games, and I think that's easily achievable. I think we can be United, and I think we can be Forest. So that's therefore I predict we will make UCL football. I also predict that we will, that we have more than enough of a squad. See, hope is me being like, oh, I think we sign Osman, because I think that there is nothing pointing to the fact that might be a possibility. But for me personally, I have seen enough from the team to think that we could beat United, BC team, and that we could beat Forest on the last day. So there we go. Bruno will not start, I can guarantee. I think, so hold up, what has it been? So I think, what's it been? I think Amram played De Ligt off an injury, like 3 games ago. He got injured. He played Euro 2 games ago, and Euro got injured. And then I think he played Mainu last game, and Mainu got injured. So realistically, I doubt that he risked another starter because every single game that he's played a starter, he's gotten an injury. So, hopefully not. Hopefully not. But I do think it's going to be a mix of B team and C team. Again, here's another bit of news. Edmund's keeping his job even if we don't qualify for champs. I think this is cap, me personally, because they said that they were saying about the same thing about Pochettino, right? And they sacked him at the end of the season anyway. So I don't know. I don't know if I fully believe this. I'm be real with you. I don't know if I don't know if I'm buying what they're trying to sell right there. In a bit of horrible news, in a bit of awful, stinky, disgusting news, our awful, our criminal, awful, say whatever you want about our sporting directors, still interested in Garnacho and Gittins, bro. This is nasty work, bro. This is nasty work. Yeah, I will. The one thing I will say is he might play Bruno second half for a couple of minutes, so he's not completely have no minutes under his legs for the final, but he's definitely not starting. I think that much. But this is awful news, bro. This is awful news. I've already said it. Like worst case scenario, bro, for the window is we get Garnacho and we get Sesko. I think Sesko is a bum, and there's not much to be said about Garnacho. I think anybody who has two working eyes understands what Garnacho is, that he offers absolutely nothing. He puts nothing on the table. That being the case, I do not see why I gotta worry about. I don't see what these sporting directors see in Garnacho, bro. I don't see it. I don't get it, and I don't understand it, bro. Get Ramos PSG on loan. Like I will legitimately do almost anything EPL turf to not get Sesko at this club. I think Sesko is such a for the what he's gonna cost, which I think is like what do they ask for, like 80 or something? Is crazy. I think Maresca's situation is different to Pacho's though. Pacho wasn't meant to be a project manager, so he had a tighter leash. Maybe I could hear that out. I could hear that. I could hear that. But I do think if he like worst case scenario, right? Let's say lose conference, doesn't get UCL. I think he has to get sacked. There's no way they continue. I don't know. At least that's the way I look at it. Yo, big up, man. How's it going, bro? All right, let me see. What else is there in the news for today? Here we go. Here we got another one. Here we go. We got another one. Chelsea believed last summer that apart from Osimhen, who they pursued, the rest of the options on the market were not good enough to add to what Jackson offers, which is cap, bro. Like this is just cap. There was plenty of people on the market that would have done a job. This is my whole point, right? So what has Jackson offered us? So Jackson's offered 10 goals, 1 goal, I think, in 2025, if I'm not mistaken, 1 goal and a red card. This is what he's offered. So I just struggle to understand what more these brothers could be waiting for to see what somebody could add to Jackson. If somebody cannot get a red card, have a bit of mentality, and have more than 10 goals, then they're already offering more than what Jackson offers. It's that simple. They're already offering more than what Jackson offers. Bro, and it's crazy because we went from actively pursuing Olise, and now we're being linked with mad bums. Because word on the street, I think I remember too, the reporting was that when the Neto deal went through, the Neto deal had a lot to do with Iqbali. It did not have a lot to do with the sporting directors. Maybe I can confirm that. Let me check though. All right, let's see what else. What other news we got? Oh yeah, I mean this also happened today, right? This didn't happen today. It says Chelsea risks missing out on Dean Huijsen to Real Madrid after stepping up talks, but this is already dead, and I think it's been confirmed by Fabrizio at this point as well that Huijsen is Huijsen is off to Madrid. So Bournemouth have approved Real Madrid conditions for Dean Huijsen, 50 million release clause to be paid, deal done club to club. Final green light needed to proceed and seal the deal with players' camp as Huijsen always gave priority to Madrid. So basically, we are not getting Huijsen, bro. We're not getting Huijsen. So Hoisin is dead in the water, and it looks like we're looking at Mark Guehi and Hato as the alternatives to Hoisin, bro. So that being the case, I don't really know what to say, man. I don't really know what to say. I'm gonna be quite honest. The center back situation is looking a bit dire. I don't understand what these brothers want us to do. Fofana, I don't believe will stay healthy enough for a long enough period of time to be reliable. I'm gonna be quite honest. That's just what I think. I don't know what you guys think, but this is not the best news. Yeah, Igbali, that's what I'm saying. They're boys. So all that stuff, like it wasn't even done by the sporting directors, bro. And I am worried. I don't know why we are getting more Garnacho links after what we've seen as well. After what we have seen in this window, why are we getting more Garnacho links? Can somebody explain that to me? Somebody explain that to me. So, oh yeah. All right, let's see. Let me see if there's any more news that have has come out recently. All right, here we go. This is a going. This is a going. All right, let me know what y'all think about this. All right, Chelsea's list of center backs in case they miss out on Dean Huijsen, and and I mean this is 3 hours ago, but this was already confirmed that basically Huijsen is already out. So we're looking at Hato, Guehi, and Branthwaite. This is bad. I don't think that Guehi offers what we need in the Fofana profile, right? If we're gonna keep playing this Maresca system, we need somebody with good recovery pace because we don't have that in any of our center backs. I don't know that Branthwaite, Guehi, or Hato. Maybe a bit more Hato, but we know Guehi's weaknesses, bro. It's gonna be Guehi, unfortunately. Not that he's bad, but he doesn't raise the ceiling for us. He doesn't. And like again, I think his profile would be more to put next to somebody like a Fofana. Like that's my issue is that the profile that we need is somebody with really good recovery pace, and we are not finding that. So now what are we gonna do in case we get caught out behind? We need somebody in Fofana's position that's gonna be able to cover for when Cucurella is inverting, etc., etc. And I don't see any of these center backs being able to do it. And I'm worried as well about the price that Crystal Palace might be asking for. I know Branthwaite is probably going to be a pretty penny as well. I don't know much about Hato, but I do think that Liverpool are interested in Hato, and if that is the case, I think Liverpool are getting him. So, and I think Guehi as well. We have a sell-on clause, so I think if we buy him, it's technically like a discount that we get on purchasing him. I don't really know, but I agree, Santi. I don't think that he's awful. I just don't see how he solves the issue that we have with Fofana being out. Unfortunately, I think he'd be better to bench Kobo and then get a Fofana profile next to him, right? But we gotta see, man. Again, this is not it's not giving me much hope. I'm gonna be quite honest, bro. And let me see if there's any other news. Chelsea wise. Yeah, so Nico Jack is potentially looking to be sold, is what we said, if we get a good offer for him. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of news about RBC words and stuff that's been going around, but this is my thing, Santi, is I couldn't tell you any young center backs that fill the Fofana role. See, the thing with Pacho is Pacho's good, but I don't think he has the insane recovery pace of like a Fofana. I think Pacho's good, but he's more of an aerial threat, of an aerial threat, an aerial defense kind of a guy. You know, like in the box, really strong, muscular, physical, good reading of the game. But I don't think he has insane recovery pace, and that's what we're potentially looking at. So, it's looking peak, bro. It's looking a bit peak. I don't know what the solution is, but it's up to these sporting directors to find somebody. And with the profiles that we're linked with, I don't see how they realistically solve any of the shortcomings. Here, let me see. So here we got no here. This is there we go. This is what we got. I don't know much about Hato. I'm be rude with you. I don't know what like his Don't know what Hato is like as a defender, so I couldn't really speak, on it either way in one direction or another. But this is just kind of where we're at, bro. I don't. I'm gonna be with you guys. I don't see where it gets better from here. And this is a big issue with us not getting UCL football. Is the real talk is what are we doing here, right? Because now if we don't get UCL football, all of the targets that we are in fights for against Liverpool, against even United, bro, we might risk on losing out on. If we're being quite honest, we could lose out on them, and I could see that easily happening. And then I look at news like this, bro. This, by the way, this news stinks, bro. It stinks to me. Stinks, bro. It stinks to me of the fact that they're preparing for us to potentially not get UCL football. Like, if we don't get UCL football, this is what we're looking at, bro. This is the type of stuff we're looking at. And this is true. This is an easy option. Nobody's going to fight us for it. And we don't have to worry about UCL football. But again, this is my issue with everything. This is not what we need. João Pedro is not the solution here, bro. He's just not. And I don't think I'm crazy for saying that. But this is not the way, bro. This right here is not the way, man. I don't know what to tell you, but this right here is just not the way, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Again, more Brighton, bro. Let's see. So this is more news. Chelsea will review their season. But Santi, that's what I'm saying. It all comes down to the fact: do we get UCL football? I believe that is the breaking point. I think the sporting directors have two lists. They have two lists. One, if we get UCL football, and another, if we do not get UCL football. And trust me, the worst timeline I can already tell is the no UCL football timeline is looking peak. It is looking peak. It's looking ugly, bro. And the worst part is, if we believe the early reports, is they want to get a striker and a winger in before the Club World Cup. So in those 2 weeks where the window's open before the Club World Cup, bro, this is what they're looking at. This is the news that they look like they're gonna, like, if that's to be believed and we don't get used to football, bro, we're like, what is it? João Pedro and Gittins or Garnacho or even Sesko? Bro, we're finished. We're literally finished. We're just gonna watch as players like Caicedo, Enzo, Palmer are just Esteval when he comes in are just surrounded by bums, bro. We're gonna see it. There's a squad building issue. Like, I don't even really know what to say about that, bro. Like, it's not looking good, guys. I'm being true. It's not looking good. Yeah, see, they keep reiterating that. The only thing that gives me a bit of hope about the United game is just that it's not even a issue of, for example, sometimes like, oh, this is the worst United side or whatever. They're legitimately just not going to put out their best squad. Like, for me, that's one of the few hopes that I have. And again, we'll get into it in around 10 minutes. I will be joined by Touchline to discuss UCL football, the match on Friday, right? What it means for our UCL hopes. Probably discuss what the players that he expects to come onto the pitch, players I expect to come onto the pitch. So we'll probably see a bit of that. If we win Friday, I have no doubt we're getting UCL. I mean, I could say I have some doubts, because I do think Forest are still gonna be tough to break down, right? I think that we do win it, but it's like, for me, it's not set in stone that we win Forest away. It's not, bro. Like, last season, they even went down to the wire. Legitimately, last season it went down to the wire. So I can't write Forest off like that. Let's see what other news. See, this right here, bro, is this, like, man, I can't stand Sanchez, bro. Chelsea maintain trust in Robert Sanchez and believe they have promising alternatives should he not improve. In Pender's current second choice, Jorgensen and Petrovic, who is on loan to Strasbourg. Petrovic is attracting transfer interest. Why are we continuing to stick by Robert Sanchez, bro? What moments has he provided in a season where we can say that he has given us a stretch of games where he has won us the game, where he has shown up. He has cost us points. He has put us constantly under pressure. He has one of the worst long ball percentages in the league. I don't understand what they see in him, bro. He's awful. The best we can hope for is he becomes mid. And if we're dealing with mid, Petrovic already went from mid to a good keeper, which is why he's attracting transfer interest. We see the stats. We know what we want. So why do we keep messing around with Sanchez, bro? This is scaring me. It seems like they want Sanchez to be the starting keeper for next season, which is why, legitimately why. What does he offer us, bro? What is he offering us? I don't understand. And again, talking a bit about leadership, right? There's an acceptance within Chelsea that the squad lacks natural leaders, with only Cole and potentially Fernandez fitting the bill. Reece James has worked hard to develop that side of his game, but is naturally introverted, as is Caicedo. The thing is, we've said this for a very long time. This team is full of young kids. When you have a team full of kids, you need to get older heads who have that leadership experience, bro. And this is what it sounds. This is what I'm saying. I'm going through the news, and I felt like I had to, because Touchdown is gonna start his stream at 5, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go early, 30 minutes earlier, because I need to just rant. I'm seeing all this news, and it's all just bad news, bro. Like, that's really what it is. Because, like, okay, we don't have any leaders, so who are we gonna bring in? Guehi. What leadership is he gonna provide to the team in the UCL? Let's be quite honest. What leadership is he gonna provide on UCL nights if we do end up getting UCL, bro? Like, look at this. Look at the news we are getting, bro. Like, legitimately look at the news we're getting, bro. This is all today, by the way. This news is all today. This isn't yesterday. No, this is all news dropped today, bro, pretty much. This is disgusting. What do they see in Garnacho? So we struggle with goal scoring. We struggle with people having bad decision making in the final third at times, and we're linked to Garnacho. How is he gonna fix that for us? In what way, shape, or form is Garnacho fixing that issue for us? I don't understand what they see, bro. Yo, Brian, big up, man. So I don't get it. I don't get what they see in Garnacho. I'm gonna be quite honest. Yeah, people. Yeah, shout out Brian, man. Smash the likes if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. It's always greatly appreciated, guys. And this reminds me of that quote that Maresca had, where I think Maresca said, we at some point, right, we used to take off Drogba, we used to bring on X player, and now, I take off Jackson and I have to play Tyreek George. Like, that's just kind of where we're at the moment, bro. That is legitimately where we are at in this moment in time, bro. This is where the club has fallen to. You and me both, brother, because I don't understand what they see in him. I really don't. What do they? Because I think Garnacho's analytics aren't even good. Watch, I can look him up. We can look him up right now, bro. Let's check Garnacho's analytics, bro. Let's see what he got, bro. Okay. Give me his stats, bro. Look at this, bro. Look at this dribble success rate, bro. Dispossessed 48 times, bro. Awful defending. And he's ranked top in goals, expected goals, all these stats, shots on target stuff, but he doesn't really get the numbers like that. So what are we doing here, bro? 6 goals and 2 assists in 2,175 minutes, bro. I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. Because let me see if I can go to that website where you can compare players. No, I know what the sources be saying, but do I trust the sources? I don't know, man. I really don't. I don't know if I trust the sources. These are nasty numbers, bro. Also, big up Morning Zombie. Yeah, like and sub, people. Like and sub. Big up Morning Zombie. How you doing, man? All right. Let me compare. Let me compare. All right, give me wingers. Garnacho. Let's do Nani. How about that? Madueke. So okay, here we go. Here we go, bro. So legitimately, what is Garnacho offering the team, bro? Let's be honest. What is Garnacho offering the team, bro? So Nani is in pink and Garnacho is in blue. So Nani is literally just overall better than him, right? Let's take out Nani. Let's see. What is Neto offering, bro? So like what are we doing here, bro? Legitimately, what are we looking into Garnacho for? If he's not an improvement on legitimately any of our wingers. What's another winger? Let's go Sancho. How about that? Let's go Sancho, bro. Let's see Sancho. Okay. Okay. So he has more XG than Sancho, which is understandable. But is this an improvement worth going for, bro? Let me see. What about Tyreek George, bro? What about Tyreek George? Is he even here? Do they even got Tyreek George? I don't think so. They probably don't. But bro, I don't see. Wow, he's just not better. He's not even better than Neto. So if he's not better than Neto, my point is why are we even doing this? If he's not better than Neto, I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. I think we would smash United. I think we win. I think we win the United game. Like the one that I'm more worried about legitimately is the Forest game because it's away and Forest need the win. I am legitimately more worried about that than anything else. I'm being serious. More worried about that than anything else. All right, let's see what other news. By the way, here are the strikers, bro. Here are the strikers, by the way, Brian. None of these strikers have been ruled out by Chelsea. Each one is being explored with pros, cons, and likely competition being weighed up. Victor Gyökeres, Benjamin Sesko, Liam Delap, Hugo Ekitike, and Victor Osimhen, bro. Again, best case scenario is Victor Osimhen, man. Worst case is legitimately Sesko. I would rather get Gyökeres, Delap, or Ekitike over Sesko. Sesko is worst case scenario, doomsday scenario. We have spent a ton of money on a striker that is just not good enough. Sesko is worst case scenario. I've watched his games. I've seen his numbers. It's not good. It's not good for what, especially for what Red Bull are asking for him, bro. It's not worth it, guys. I'm being dead serious. It's not worth it. But I don't even know who his agent is because he's in the United Academy. So I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even know something. Yeah, Ekitike is fine. I wouldn't mind Ekitike. My only issue is I think Liverpool have been linked recently with Ekitike. I feel like that's my only issue with Ekitike is if we're just going to lose out to Liverpool. Right? I think that's my issue. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Here we go. Look, I found it, bro. Liverpool are stepping up their interest in Hugo Ekitike. He's available for 84 million pounds. So for me, but I want a proven striker like Osimhen. Bro, I'm telling you right now, like for me, it's Osimhen 1, Gyökeres 2, Ekitike 3, Delap 4, and Sesko 5. Like Sesko might be even 7 because I'd rather do Mark Gui, bro, than Sesko for what he's gonna cost the club. Brian, I hope you're right. Like I want Osimhen to join the club, bro, more than anybody can believe. We just need him to lower his demands. He wants like I think 350K weekly without tax. So he's asking for like 450K a week pre-tax. Like he's asking like 450K a week pre-tax. Around there. That's a lot of money, bro. That's insane money. That's nearly Erling Haaland level money, if I'm not mistaken, bro. It's nasty work. So if Victor wants to come here, then he needs to lower his demands, bro, because we just can't pay that, bro. We just can't pay that. We will break the wage structure for him. I think it was already reported that we are willing to break the wage structure for him. But bro, like it's still too much to demand like 400K, 450K a week. Like that's near Haaland. That's near Haaland, bro. That's too much. Oh man, that's thinking about the fact that, bro, this summer we still have to move on in terms of the wage bill. We still have to move on Chilwell. We still have to move on Sterling. So it's like, what are we doing here? You feel me? currently linked to any other teams. I haven't seen anything lately. I think it says like a lot of teams are just. I think the last report I saw, in terms of other teams, is like a lot of teams are interested in him, but his wage demand puts him out of the running for a lot of clubs. I think that's what I ended up seeing. Like his wage demands are putting him out of the asking price for a lot of clubs. Like he's just asking for too much, which is crazy when you think about it. But to a certain extent, like if you're asking for that much money, that is a lot, bro. You know, to a certain extent. So I get it, but I don't get it. All right, guys. Big up Arsene. Everyone subscribing, like, yep, subscribing, like, RCMC and 3 yep. No, we were discussing that, bro. We were discussing that already. Just earlier, bro. Just earlier. I think we'll end up breaking it because the sincere big issues, the striker, we can only 60 chances. Yeah, but I think even if we decide to break it, we still need more people to come. We still need more. We still need more people in. So he cannot ask for that much money, bro. That kills our wage bill. We can't bring anybody else in. He needs to lower it. Because for what we're probably gonna have to pay, in his wages, we need him to lower it a bit to a more acceptable level, bro. But also, if we don't get UCL football, we're not paying his wages regardless. Like again, if we don't get UCL football, then Osman is dead as well, by the way. If we get UCL football, I think Victor could still be on the table. There's still a chance. But if we don't get UCL football, it's cooked. It doesn't matter. He's off the table, bro. He's gonna go Saudi or something where they're gonna pay him his wages, unfortunately. And yeah, Abdimas, let me see if I could find that for you, bro. Because we were already looking at it. We were just looking at it, man. Let me see if I could find that for you, my guy. Bro, he's asking nearly Erling Haaland money, which I think that's for me. That's one of my biggest issues. That is one of my biggest issues. Is how much money he truly is asking for, bro. That is what is killing me at this moment in time, bro. That is what is killing me. Let me see if I could find the All right, let's see. Only option is Guehi, Bantway, and Hato. Weak CB option, only one Hato from that list. And not only that, Abdimas, like we still don't have the replacement profile or even word on a replacement profile for Fofana with recovery pace. Yeah, I've never heard anything of Hato, but I don't think that he's like Fofana, unfortunately, which is I think what we need in this moment in time. Anyways, guys, I'm about to join Touchline for the United preview. So we're switching gears, bro. We're switching gears. We will be switching gears here. We will be switching gears here for the So here we go. One second. All right. Okay. Cool. Perfect. Nah, Touchdown, don't worry. I could edit that out later, bro. Don't worry about it, bro.
Yo, you say, hold on 1 second. Let me swap us around. There you go. Yo, you saying people? What you saying, RSM, bro? We've got Man United, Chelsea.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got man. You just baited my number out, by the way, live on stream, bro.
Don't worry about it, bro. I could cut that out later in the stream.
No worries, no worries, no worries. Big up to everyone. Bless up to everyone in the chat. Bless up to Mustafa. Bless up to Bros Games. It's gonna be fun as fuck. Bless up to Melon as well. Bless up to RSM coming on, man. Check your channel out, bro.
Bless up. Yeah, man. Big up, man. How's it going, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hold on. Yeah, RSM TV. I know it is. Yeah, RSM TV. Chelsea fan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're gonna be doing Chelsea United preview. He's gonna be getting cooked because he's a Chelsea fan. You know, he can't cook me. It's impossible. But bless up to everyone in the chat. Bless up. I know you're live right now as well.
Yes,
am I on the screen as well? Or
yeah, you could look. You could look. You're on my screen.
Oh,
sure.
I thought I had to
Nah, bro. I got my ways.
Do you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me see if I can sort this out because we are quite. No.
That's fine. Just leave it there.
We're gonna be discussing the game, obviously. The actual game in itself is gonna be pretty irrelevant. I mean, I assume we all probably think Chelsea are gonna win because I don't really care about this game, and it will. Chelsea are fighting for top 5, so we'll just give you your 3 points. You know, what I mean, your second win against us in what, 6 years or something like that. Something like that.
It's. I mean, I think last season is when we broke the record. Not for Old Trafford. I think Old Trafford.
Massive.
Yeah, Old Trafford is still our record is still horrendous. But in terms of like the losing streak, yeah, we cut that last season. So.
Yeah. Old Trafford's for 11 years or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss that. We're gonna discuss all-time combined 11 for Man United versus Chelsea. Me and Liam did something last night, which we're gonna do now. Is we're gonna do in the stream as well. He done Real Madrid's current 11 versus Bayern next season 11. Right, so like a future Bayern. So obviously they think they're gonna get Wirtz, so Wirtz is involved in it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So because we think we're going to get Cunha, Delap, Edison, and things like that. It's going to be like a future Man United 11. Obviously, there's no point doing it right now because if you're doing it off this season, Chelsea probably get about 8 or 9 players in. Do you get what I'm saying? But yeah, all time, it would be the all-time 11. That's we're going to do 2 combined 11s if that's all right. And we're going to discuss who finishes higher next season because I know you seem to think that Man United are not going to be able to get top 5 next season. Which
no, I don't.
I don't get how that's impossible if Forest was 17th last season.
Because I think that Forest have been longer. I mean, we could discuss it. We can discuss it later. But what do you want to talk about first?
We could do a combined 11 if you want, man.
I think first, what I would want to ask you though is what you instead of combined 11, what do you expect to be your starting lineup for tomorrow? Because I'm assuming that we're going to see like United Academy kids, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. Because he might play. He played a full strength 11 against Bournemouth when we had Bilbao in the week. He might just try and keep players sharp. But I don't know.
Because what hasn't it been like in the past couple games, right? He brought back the lick got injured, right? He brought back he played Yoro got injured. He played Menu.
Yoro's fine.
But he's not playing. He's not playing tomorrow though.
Yeah, he's not playing tomorrow. He won't play
so then, tomorrow. And what about Menu? Because I think Menu went off injured last game.
No, he didn't. Menu didn't. Menu's calm. Menu's fine. Menu didn't start. He came off the bench. He didn't start in the last.
Fair enough.
Menu's fine. Everyone's fine except the usual players that are injured. The only one that got a stumbled toe was Euro. But we should. I still think we should be fine, man. As long as I don't care about this game as much, like in terms of the actual package of the game.
Well, for you guys, it's not like again, it's the same thing with Spurs on with their games, right? Like both of you guys got your eyes on the final more than anything else.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you think Ahmed, by Chaz asking, do you think Ahmed is going to start or come off the bench?
Ahmed, no, he'll start most likely.
Has he played a full 90 yet?
He hasn't got a muscle injury. Yeah, did he not play full 90 the other day?
I'm asking. I don't know. Has he played a full 90 yet or no?
I'm pretty sure he did play full 90. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he did play.
Here, let me check. No, he came off in the 83rd, but that's pretty much the full game. That's pretty much the full game. That's pretty much the full game. Yeah. All right, I hear it.
He's fine. He should be thingy.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of us, like we're not gonna have Jackson obviously because he got the red card.
What does that mean? Hold on. Both teams are bad. Also, you're a pulled pork. What does that mean?
I'm assuming he's talking about. I'm talking about his hamstrings. Yeah, like pulled pork.
Yeah, pulled ham. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, Euro didn't pull his. Euro stumbled his toe, so he's got a bit of a bruised toe. That's all that happened.
Damn.
He's fine.
All right.
He'll be fit for the final. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
So
saying?
yes, but you're definitely
Declan Rice
not. But
played
you're
for
definitely not
Bolton,
risking him tomorrow. Then definitely not risking him tomorrow.
No.
All
I
right.
wouldn't
Fair
risk
enough.
any of them. I just wouldn't play. I just say to Chelsea, if we can, just take a 2-0 win. We'll play our academy players.
So you don't. So you don't even think we're gonna see Bruno? Like nobody? Legit?
No, I think we will. That's what I'm saying. I would personally. I do think we're going to play some because he's obviously he's come out and said he's embarrassed about the fact that he's lost 8, no 1, is it 1-6 or something out
Something
of
like that.
25 games, something like that.
Yeah, it's
So
bad.
he's embarrassed. So maybe he might try and get a win.
I think outside of a relegation sides, the only win you've gotten has been Fulham. I think.
No, he beat Man City as well.
Oh yeah, Man City. Yeah, true. I think that's it, right? And then everything else under Amram at the very least.
Yeah, he beat Everton 4-0. So that's the 3 game. So, I mean, might be 1 or 2.
That's tough.
Yeah, we're not relegated for a reason, bro. The relegation teams are shit.
No, they're awful. They're historically bad. Like legitimately historically bad. That's why I want
Sunderland to come up. Sunderland and Leeds. Leeds are obviously straight up. Sunderland next season and Leeds next season. There'll be 2 teams that actually come up and give it a go. They've got good stadiums, big fan bases, and they'll actually have money and they'll actually try and give it a go. And they'll probably end up staying up. At least one of them, at least. Well, do you get what I'm saying? Whereas if you get Ipswich's and fucking Southamptons, and it was Leicester, they just. I mean, Leicester was a decent little run, but overall they're just shit, bro.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So
yeah, I think. I think it is crazy though that like you guys still haven't reached the 40-point mark. Do you guys think you will by the end of what's your last game?
Villa.
Oh shit. You might yo. Are you guys gonna get 40 points or no? Because that's crazy. Villa's gonna be fighting for their life too.
On 38. Are we on 30 or 39?
39.
Yeah, we don't ever lose to Villa, but the thing is, they're fighting for top 4. But I really couldn't care less. But I'd rather them beat us and they can stop you getting top 5. That's what I'd like.
We'll see, because I think I agree with your assessment. I think it's gonna end up being. I think it's gonna be a mix of B team players. A bit of the A team players get subbed on second half. I think that's probably what's gonna end up happening. Most likely at the very least. But yeah. I don't know. I think we should do enough to win, just because you guys are gonna be, especially with the people that get subbed on, they're not gonna be, diving into challenges. They're not gonna be trying to do anything crazy. They're just gonna want to finish the game off.
As I say, just say to Chelsea, you can win 2-0. Don't put 5 or 6 past us. Just win 2-3-0. Luke Shaw will probably play. I think, to be honest, I think he'll start on Nana. He will start on Nana because he shouldn't start by Bayender. Bayender's shit.
Yeah, Bayender's really bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
It's terrible, bro. Honestly, as Said said, I said it as well, by the way, that a Turkish person without a beard connecting, you just don't trust him. Yeah,
he says suspect, bro.
Goal, Luke Shaw left centre back.
Yep.
I want to say he'll play Maguire and Lindelof. That's what I think he'll go with. I would drop Mazraoui because I don't want Mazraoui to get injured, and he's already said Mazraoui's close to getting injured. So I'll put Mazraoui on the bench.
Damn.
Personally, I'll play Dorgu on the right. Left wing back, I'll go Amas. In midfield, I'll go Bruno and I'll go Ugarte. Yeah, because I wouldn't. No, fuck that. I'll go Mainu and Ugarte. Not that I really care, but Mainu's his season's. He needs to wait till next season. Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna have a good game today on Friday because we're trying that much. We don't want to get injured, and he's also against a midfield where he's next to Ugarte. He's up against Caicedo. And so Palmer, he's not going to have a chance, but just play him. Yeah, just play him.
Okay, yeah.
So then you don't have to play Casemiro. You don't have to. Bruno, I'll play in the front 3. I'll play Bruno. In fact, I'll play Garnacho, Ahmad, and I play Mount up front. To be honest with you, I reckon. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone knows about the former club curse. Do you get what I'm saying? They always score against their former teams.
Yeah,
you still got 1 goal against Chelsea. Do you get what I'm saying? You still got to get a goal against Chelsea at the Bridge.
What I think is, the only person I'm really worried about is Ahmad, because I think he's good, bro. He's a good player, bro. He's a good player. But that's why I think what's probably gonna happen is we're gonna have Cucurella kind of do what we did in the Liverpool game, where we just pin him on the player and that's it. And Cucurella just doesn't invert, just kind of pin him down, and we'll go from there. But yeah, for us, again, we don't have Jackson, so I think the backline is gonna pretty much remain the same. I think my only question is, right, do we really need to put Caicedo right back and to play Lavia against a rotated Manchester United side? I don't think so, So I think probably, most likely, what we're going to end up seeing is probably Reece James back in the squad, Chalobah, Colwell, Cucurella, Caicedo, Enzo, Neto, Palmer, Madueke, and then probably maybe Tyreek George. Or if Tyreek George is gonna be on the wing, then it's gonna be Neto false nine. Because remember, we have literally 0. And I agree with this comment. A Mount goal versus us would be sickening. He's gonna get booed. He's gonna get booed every time he touches the ball. He's probably gonna get booed, bro. Real talk. So
I don't know if he'll play, but I mean, I would play him. I play him up front personally.
I mean, he came on last season pretty much just to see Palmer score the game winner. Like that's pretty much what he came on for, bro.
Then Enzo started virtue signaling and started giving it the big one. Do you get what I'm saying? To make out that he's proper Chels. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, shout out Enzo, bro. Shout out Enzo, man.
One's won the Champions League with Chelsea, and the other one hasn't even played Champions League yet. So
yeah, but Mount was no, he has played Champions League first, but
Enzo did,
he has.
He hasn't finished in the top 4 yet.
Yeah, but Mount is a rat though. That's the thing. Like Mount is actually, you know how people were talking about how they thought Trent's video was fake and rehearsed, and I'm like,
Mount's video was.
Did anybody see Mount's video? Like, did we just collectively forget that happened?
He didn't even have blonde hair or some shit. Yeah, it was.
Bro, it was bad.
You can't blame him. Same with Trent, bro. They're just joining a bigger club. What else do you want them to do?
And literally, what did he? And where's the bigger club right now on the table?
He's won more trophies at Man United than he would have won at Chelsea in that time.
He's been. Come on, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. He played
he's been injured.
That's my whole point. He's been injured. Like even the cup game. Like, bro, he's been injured. Like, are we really running that narrative? Like he contributed at all to the campaign of winning any of the cups?
If he wins the Europa League, can we not count it? Because he scored 2 goals against Bilbao.
I would give you that more than I would give you the cup wins. I'll give you that. I would give you more of that than the actual cup wins. Like I think he played like a couple minutes off the bench and did nothing in the cup runs pretty much. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, he did. He played against Liverpool, I think. But he was injured. You're right. He was injured. But listen, he bagged against Bilbao. He's starting to turn into the made in Chelsea Zinedine Zidane. So you know what I mean. Hopefully, I don't think we're gonna sell him because I don't think anyone wants to buy him because he's so injury prone.
He's been. You guys need at least. You need a full season of him playing to be able to sell him because nobody's gonna buy him right off an injury.
Yeah, him and Luke Shaw, they're just getting ready for the Zanti season, you know what I mean, for the summer season and stuff like that, getting fit, getting in shape, and they'll be back injured again when it's winter time, most likely. But, yeah, an half-decent player when he's on it, Mason Mount, to be fair. But, yeah, but all in all, what do you go into the combined 11s?
Yeah, I'm down. So we're going to go, well, score prediction, I'll probably do like a 3-1.
To be honest, I actually do think 3. Yeah, I do think we're going to score.
That's the thing. I think it's gonna be like a.
Defense is so leaky.
It's a 3-1 or a 2-1.
That's one thing. You have an arse defense in it. So
what's actually the thing is like to get to our as defense, you have to get by the midfield, and I don't know if your midfield is gonna win the midfield battle. That's the one thing. Like that's why I think like I think teams that have good that can get past our midfields, who have good midfields, can really get to our backline and expose it. Like Newcastle, for example. But teams that can't get past the midfield, can't get past Caicedo or Lavia, that's when I'm just like I worry less about it. So that's why I think it's gonna be like a 2-1 or 3-1.
I reckon it'll be 4-2 Chelsea. 4-2 Chelsea.
No way we're scoring 4, bro. I don't even remember like 4. Bro, I don't even remember the last time we scored 4 on a Prem team, bro.
Oh, you got no striker in it.
That's what I'm saying. We have no Jackson. That's what too. It's gonna be like a 3. I think it's gonna be a 3-1 or a 2-1. I don't think it's gonna be.
No. Fuck that, bro. You know, if we tried, we'd win this game.
Yeah, but you guys aren't going to. That's my whole point. Yeah, everybody's literally going to be thinking, I don't want to get injured because I want to play in the final. Like even the people who are like B teams players that might be able to come off the bench. That's what they're gonna be. That's what I'm saying. Like it's going to be probably one of the most boring games of the round of games that's gonna happen on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But like I said, I expect like a 3-1 or a 2-1 because I think you guys aren't gonna be pressing as much to win it either. I think you're gonna get a goal because, like you said, we're bad defensively. But I don't think you guys are gonna apply insane pressure to try to like get us to cough up a mistake. Yeah, the last time we scored 4 was against Southampton in February. That's what I'm saying. Like it has been so long since we put 4. Yeah, I think it's gonna be like a 2-1 or a 3-1. That's what I'm thinking.
Some of these comments in a minute, people. I've got loads of comments starred, and we'll discuss them in a minute. But let's move on to the combined 11.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I would literally go Jorgensen or an academy keeper.
If we got a draw, I really would be surprised if we got a draw, but I just don't see it because I just don't see us trying to like dig deep, and I think Chelsea will want it more.
I think the only way a draw happens is if we are not clinical. Because I think you guys, it'll be a whole thing where if it's like 0-0 up until the final minutes, I could see you guys getting a goal. Or if it's like 1-0, right? Leading into like the 80th minute, you guys are good at getting those goals like late in the game out of nowhere. So I'll say that much.
Yeah, I'll say, do you know what? Fuck it. I'll just go 2-1 Chelsea, bro. Probably 3-1 Chelsea. I'll probably go.
Yeah, like I said, it's 2-1 or 3-1. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be anything crazy.
Hold on. Lineup builder. Which one do you want to start off with first? You want to start off with the all-time combined 11?
Let's start with the current one, just because we were talking about it anyways.
Hold on. Where the fuck is it? There we go. Right, cool. We'll do 4-2-3-1.
Bet.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, these adverts, bro. I need to get ad blocker. Right. So this is a potential 11, by the way. Yeah. So this is what we think's gonna happen. So we're linked with Savić, the goalkeeper, is about 8 foot. Edison from Atalanta, Cunha and Delap. And I think Delap. I assume majority of people think we're gonna beat Spurs. If we get Champions League football, I think we get Delap. I think he chooses United over Chelsea if we get Champions League football.
Because he has no competition at United, bro. Literally zero. He has to worry about nobody.
Doesn't really have competition at Chelsea, though, is it? Let's be real.
Yeah, but
Jackson's competition.
But the club would consider Jackson competition to him. He would come in as like low key competition to Jackson. Whereas at United, he'd be out now. There's nobody that's taking him off that.
All right, cool. Well, it's gonna be interesting the way it knows. And his goalkeeper is a complete mid off, but we are linked with Savić. I've never watched him though, so I don't know.
I would. What is this? Are we doing? What are you saying? Are we doing next season or this season?
I'm saying potential Man United 11 versus current Chelsea 11
versus current. So we're giving you potential with transfers.
Because if we do Man United current 11, I can only get about 2 players in because you're like fucking 20 points ahead of us.
Okay, fair enough. Well, what I would counter to that is next season we have Petrovic, and Petrovic has been one of the best keepers in Europe, and like second or third best keeper in League. So, like his stats are crazy this season.
This fucking Santos guy as well. This Andre Santos.
He's actually the kid is actually nice though. The kid is actually nice. Like he's actually good. It's hard to get into team of season when these brothers got like Vitinha and shit in the midfield, bro. Like, yeah, like,
you lot have been gassing him up, bro. Like he's, you know what I mean?
Well, who's gassing him up? I think he's really, really good. I think he's gonna be an amazing backup for when we actually have to rest Enzo Caicedo. I think he's not dropping the level at all. I think he's really, really good. But I wouldn't go any further than that. He hasn't shown it in the Prem. So
did Madrid win you lot? Madrid won in it last minute. 2-1.
But Mbappe then.
Ramon scored. I don't know who that is. I think that's one of their academy players or something.
Just a random kid scored. Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get some of these comments as well, people. I'm gonna get some of these comments. I've started about 18 comments on my thing. Yeah, so
listen, Santi, I just have to indulge him, man. I have to indulge him.
But yeah, what are we saying then? Petrovic, Onana, Sanchez, or this Savić guy? None of us.
I'd probably go Petrovic because yeah, I mean Onana and Sanchez is
before and he can't get into the team ahead of.
No, he did. Last season he did. He benched Sanchez. The reason why he got sent on loan is because the club were like, oh, is he able to play with his feet or whatever? So they sent him to Strasbourg to learn how to play with his feet, and then he's just been like one of the best keepers. And everybody complained that we sent him on loan anyways, because Sanchez is actually trash. So,
I mean, I'd put Onana ahead of him, bro.
No, Onana's had too many howlers, unfortunately.
Oh, I'll go Petrovic. That's the name. That's Strasbourg. Yeah. Right. Cool. Petrovic in goal.
Okay.
Right back or left back? I mean, where do you want to start? We could go anywhere. But I'll go the fullback.
We could go right back. We could go right back. So.
This one's easy, bro. Mazzardini. Pretty simple. You've got Gusto, who's not anywhere near his level. In fact, I've got two
I would say Reece. I would say Reece, bro. Like I think when Reece is fully fit, I do think he's levels above. But he's been fit this like I think he's played the most minutes he's played in like 3 years.
Plus he's been playing in midfield. He's been playing left back as well this season. Do you know what I mean?
Left back? No. He's played right back. He's played right back. But the reason why we're playing him in midfield is because he just came off he finally had the surgery that we've been asking him to have for like the past 3 years. He had it, and then he's been back and he's played the most minutes I think he's played in literally years. But I mean, I'll give you match just because I don't think because even when Caicedo goes right back, he's still good, but that's not his natural position. So
yeah,
but I don't think.
James is fit. He probably does get into this team. But
yeah, I agree.
it's
When
just
Reece James is
never
fit,
fit.
but to be
Mazraoui's
fair,
literally played almost
like I
every
said, he has been fit. He's been here since pretty much middle part of the season. He's been here like all of 2025. He's been available and fit. But
Oh, so he did have an injury, no? He did have an injury in terms of. Yeah, but the thing is, I know for a fact he can't play. He doesn't play every week, though, does he? Because you can't play him. That's why he didn't play him against Newcastle. Because
no,
you
no,
can't play him every week.
yeah, we
You
can't,
know what I'm saying? You have to manage his minutes.
yeah, we're
Whereas
managing his minutes.
Mazraoui's literally played, about 95% of our games this season. Mazraoui's played it, and he's been solid. £12 million bargain.
No, I mean, I think, yeah, no, I think he's really good. I think calling Mazzadini is crazy, as Yasser TV points out. Shout out Yasser. I think that's crazy, but I don't think he's. Like I said, I think I think I don't think he's ever gonna reach the heights that Reece James is. I think I personally would still put.
Reece James is a better footballer than him. I agree.
Yeah.
Reece James can score goals, free kicks, better crosser, stuff like that. Yeah, Reece James is better at that stuff. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
I'll give that to you.
However,
I'll give that to you.
Just defensively as well, he's locked off almost every top winger he's come up against, every test he's had. £12 million, as I said. Zia's club got scammed.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We got him half price, and in fact, we didn't get him half price, bruv. We literally scammed the fuck out of him, bruv. He's a 40-50 million pound defender. He's
okay, but Melon, realistically though, like, do you want me to sit here and argue every 2 seconds? Because, like he said, we're doing a hypothetical. Because if we did this season, he's literally getting maybe 2 players in. Like, he admitted it himself. Like,
I'm doing it off potential 11 and as a player, because this season, as I said, Chelsea have been miles better than us. So what's the point? That's
what I'm saying. Like, otherwise there's no conversation. This is why we're doing this, so it's a bit more interesting.
Facts. Mazraoui, right, left back though. Because where do we go?
I would go Cucurella. I think Cucurella has been one of the best. I think he's been the best left back in the Prem, in my opinion. But other people disagree.
Yeah, probably has. But is he a better football player? I mean, Dallo, we don't even know if he's going to be here. To be fair,
my issue is it's not even. My thing is, like, and I'll say this about defenders. I don't care a lot about defenders being quote unquote better. Like, if you're a defender, bro, if you do your job, I'm more than happy with that. Like, that's it. And Cucurella is not only doing his job defensively, he's locked up almost every winger that has faced him. Kept Saka quiet, kept Salah quiet, right? Best right wing in the Prem, I think people would say, fairly enough, right? He's kept them quiet. Not only that, when he inverts into midfield, he's really good on the ball. He's scored a ton of goals. He's scored a lot of goals from left back this season, inverting. He's won us games with his goals. I think there's no argument. I think it has to be Cucurella this season. I don't know who you would put up against Cucurella.
I would, because I do rate Cucurella. I'm just saying Dallo is a top left back when he's actually playing as a fullback. When if you put him in Chelsea's system, he'd cook. If that inverting stuff, he'd cook. He'd be unreal.
Yeah, but
because I've seen him on a half turn, and the way he build up. Look at the goal at the FA Cup final where he pinged the ball inside with, bro. He's unreal. The problem is this season he's been arse, and
there you go.
As a wing back as well, he's crap. So yeah, he's had an even double bad season. But yeah, I probably would go Cucurella. I do agree. Is there anyone else we could argue with? Is there anyone else? Luke Shaw at his best, but when we're saying that with Reece James, so
yeah, no, yeah. If we're discounting Reece James, and Luke Shaw can't be in the conversation.
Yeah, it's true, because Luke Shaw's even more injury prone than Reece James at this moment in time. So yeah, but I mean, I guess Cucurella does go in. To be fair, Cucurella is a better left back than anything we've got. What's his? How do you spell his name?
There it is.
Cucurella. Right, centre back. So this is interesting because I have this debate all the time, bro. Man United centre backs are better. Yeah, look, you're a lit centre backs.
You know what's crazy? I wouldn't even say Euro. I would even put Maguire because I think he's been good for you guys. I would put Maguire. I agree, but if we're talking about mixing a bit of this season in, I think Maguire has done a lot for you guys this season, low key.
Yeah, but Euro's better than Maguire. Like, he's just better than him. He's just got more attributes to his game. And we're going off as well, potentially next season, Euro's going to be our starting centre-back, because obviously this season he's had injury problems, and he's obviously, adapting. He's only 18. Now he's had a full season in the Premier League. Next season, I think you'll see him play full season. I don't rate Levi Colwell.
No, I don't think
I've been saying for months, listen, Love Island applications, you can go on Love
Island.
I think if
Fofana was fit, he'd definitely make it. I think Fofana's our best centre-back. He's just injured. That's what's killing us.
Maybe, but maybe a few years ago. I don't really know about that anymore.
No. This season he was really good, bro. Like once he got injured is when all of our results started going downhill, bro. We literally don't have anybody in the team that has the recovery pace that he has. And then when he was out of the squad, bro, that's when we started losing all the games and drawing and stuff.
He's talking about quick right, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care what Barcelona people gotta say, bro. Respectfully.
Yeah, I'm going de Ligt, though. You going? We agree with de Ligt?
Yeah, I agree with de Ligt. I agree with de Ligt. I would argue. Now Martinez has not been world class. Why are we lying to ourselves, bro? He's not had a good season. There's no reason to lie to ourselves.
Who are you talking about? Martinez is my Martinez or
yes, yours.
Martinez?
No, yours. I don't think he's had a great season.
I think he's talking about his Martinez.
Oh,
because he's not talking about my one. I don't think he's talking about my one.
No, well,
yeah, my one's been all right. My one was all right just before he got injured. And like a month before he got injured, he scored the goal against Fulham, the goal against Liverpool. Yeah, he's talking about his Martinez.
Inigo Martinez is not world class, bro. I'd give you Kubarsi before I give you Inigo Martinez, bro.
This isn't Barcelona, bro. This isn't about bro.
Yeah, but anyways, I would argue Maguire over Euro, but I don't really care either way. I don't think I think past Cucurella.
I don't think United get two centre backs in.
I mean, I don't know what center back we're gonna end up with, right? If we're doing potential for Chelsea as well. I don't know what the summer window holds, so I'm trying to base it more off of this season. No, Disasi's out. Disasi's out. Disasi's out. Badiashile is probably gonna be sold. So we're not doing anything. De Ligt is a bozo. Don't let this United fan talk. No, I don't think De Ligt is a bozo. Like I've watched a lot of Man United games this season, and he's not been one of the issues. Like I can say that much, bro. He has not been one of the issues.
Yeah, right, cool. All right, cool. We're saying two centre backs, yeah?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Because I don't even know who other Chelsea centre backs have got, bro. Bless up to Will, by the way, for the raid. Bless up. Make sure you subscribe to RSM TV. I'm going to get his link in the title as well. Make sure you subscribe to me. I'm 6 subs off 600, so make sure you hit the sub button, people. But this one, I think one of them's straightforward. Caicedo.
I think it's Caicedo. Yeah, 100%.
Caicedo straight in, bro. I think everyone would agree. I don't think anyone would even argue.
No.
This guy's best, the best DM in the league. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no questions, bro. No questions.
Yeah, I agree, man. Caicedo gets in, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? What are we saying though for the next to him? Lavia, Mainu, Bruno, fucking Enzo. Anyone?
Yeah, Enzo's having a good season, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Enzo's been having a good season, bro. He's having a really good season. I think even if you, I
can't argue about Mainu because Mainu's had such a shit season.
I also think that's down to, again, maybe that's a conversation you guys need to have next season. But where does Mainu fit in the system? Yeah, see, Morning Zombie agrees with me. Yeah, De Ligt has been very good. I've seen nearly every United game. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there are players that I will argue, but like De Ligt has not been one of the issues this season for United, bro. He's not, man.
Look what Will put.
Yo, fuck off, Will, man. Stop simping, bro. Like I said,
are we saying Enzo then?
Yeah, I would say Enzo, bro. I think the only thing that has kept us in
main event, I'm saying could be WrestleMania.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, it's Enzo. It's Enzo Caicedo. Like the only thing that I will argue this season that has kept Chelsea within sniffing distance of UCL football has been the midfield. Our midfield has been excellent this season, bro.
Yeah, Enzo's having a really good season, to be fair.
Yeah.
But big up, we got 59 people inside, so make sure you hit the sub button, people. I'm sure there's 6 of you that haven't subscribed, yeah? Get me to 600 subs. Make sure you subscribe to RSM TV as well, people.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to get his link in the title. Put Caicedo at right back and get Enzo Lavia. Caicedo ain't getting ahead.
Caicedo doesn't, he hasn't played, bro. He's played like right back like 4 or 5 games out of the entire season. Like it would be shameless to put him right back, bro. He hasn't played there.
It's facts, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, what are we saying though? I think, I actually, listen, because I'm always shameless here, because we're going off current Chelsea 11 potential, I'm going to give you a bit of potential, because I do think Palmer's potential, obviously, I think Palmer's got higher potential.
I think Bruno has been,
this season, or at least in the last 3 months, Bruno's been better.
Yeah, I would argue, I think beginning of the season, Palmer was above Bruno, but I think because of his dip in form, I think Bruno has, like, you could say caught up a bit, but I do think that Palmer, I agree. Bruno, I think this is where he's at as a player, right? I don't think there's much left to see out of Bruno, but I think that there is still levels that Palmer can go up. So I would agree. I think we got to put Palmer if we're doing like this season and potential. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
But that is not But by the way, that is not discarding what Bruno has done this season. He's had a very good season, and especially if we factor in.
He's been very good since the start of the year, since January.
I don't know, because I would even argue. I would argue in the Europa games, he's also been saving you, even beyond these 3 months, bro. So, but he's had bad performances in the league as well. So.
Yeah, he has, man. Right. But I'd go with Palmer personally. I think Palmer's just got a higher ceiling in it. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at
agreed.
Potentially at times he's been talked about as the best player in the Premier League. And he's only 23, I imagine. Potentially the next Man United number 10. So you know what I'm saying? Cole Palmer could
he's not going, bro. I don't know what you're talking
about. Bruv, do you know what I'm saying? When you lot don't get Champions League and Cole Palmer sits there and gets homesick, do you know what I'm saying? And misses Mane, yeah?
Yeah, he doesn't, bro. He's good over here. Like literally every Man United fan is that deluded. You guys don't have the money. And he's on a and I don't think people understand what a consecutive life sentence is, bro. But
what does that mean?
Yeah, he's on death row, bro, at Chelsea. Like he himself signed an extra, bro. He signed an extra 3 years on his contract. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. We did not force him to. He signed the extra years. So it is what it is.
Listen.
Plus, we'll get into we'll get into the conversations later. But I don't think that you guys are gonna overtake us next season. But we'll talk about that later, anyways.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later, bro. Because I'll cook you on that.
All right. So what are we doing, left or right?
Right wing though, because I think
the issue with Ahmed though is his injury. Like that would be my only issue with Ahmed. But he was out, bro. He was out. And he was and it's.
I'm not hearing any of them.
I would put Neto left. You could put Ahmad. For striker, as unfortunate as it is, bro, like Højlund is pans, bro. He's cheeks.
Hold on, did you say you're putting who?
I put Neto on the left.
You're putting Neto ahead of Cunha?
Yes.
Based off of what?
Based off this season, and again, people who don't watch our games don't understand, but this entire season, Neto has been putting in left side, right side, doesn't matter. He has been putting in absolute dime crosses into the box, and Jackson doesn't jump for them. He can't read them. Jackson couldn't find a cross inside of a Catholic church, brother. He is trash on crosses, bro. So I'm telling you, Neto has been good for us this season, bro. And I said this before. I said when we were going through the bad period, I was saying I think the only winger that I could see having the future at Chelsea Football Club is Neto, bro. I'm being dead serious. Neto has been doing well, bro. And even when he had to do a false 9 shift after Nkunku stunk it out for like 6 games in a row, he was doing a lot better. I think I have to argue Neto, bro. I have to argue Neto. And I think you could also admit this, right? Is when somebody, and I think Cunha is a baller, right? But I don't think, what, you guys are going to play him as a left winger? You guys are going to play him, what, left 10 or right 10?
Left 10.
Yeah, you guys aren't going to really use him as a winger. You're going to use him more centrally. So if we're arguing wingers, if we're, that's fine. But I think, no, I would disagree. But I still think that based off of this season, based off this season and based off of what I think we could do when we get a striker, right? Because we're talking potential. I think Neto's assist numbers are going to be crazy once we get a striker that can actually be an aerial threat in the box. So I would argue Neto, bro.
Well, all right. Or we'll leave it to the chat then, because it's a tiebreaker. Chat, Neto or Cunha? And we'll see what the chat says, bro. Because I guarantee they all sit there and light up the chat with Cunha, bro.
That's true, bro. Yeah, this is true, by the way. I agree with Santi's comment. He said they'd have to cancel their stadium redevelopment to sign Palmer, and that's facts. No,
it isn't.
That's facts.
We're not even paying for our stadium, so that doesn't make sense.
And that's facts.
We'll touch like no, I don't know Edwin's channel, bro. Look, Cunha, Neto, right? We got 2-1 Neto so far. I mean, I know one of them's a Chelsea fan. I don't know who Edwin supports. I don't know if that's Edwin. Cunha is 2-2. There you go. Even a Chelsea fan, bro. Big up to Musty. Yeah, bro's getting 3-2 Cunha.
Listen, I'm not gonna say anything, but his name is Musty. I think that tells you everything you need to know.
Listen, don't diss Musty, bro. My geezer, Musty, you prick. Neto can shoot. So can Cunha, bro. He's got 15 goals. He just broke the record or equaled the record for the most goals by a Brazilian in the Premier League season. So, you know what I'm saying? It's not like Cunha can't shoot. He's a top finisher, in fact. Neto is a game winner. Would you take Endry at United? No, because I would rather experience Cunha. There goes 4-2. We'll leave it. We'll leave it to like one gets like 3 or 4 more than the other. 4 Cunha. Yes, 4-2 run out to Cunha. Cunha at Wolves. Yeah, Neto was at Wolves as well. Do you know what
No,
I'm
no,
saying?
but this is what
numbers.
I'm saying though. Like when you play for a top team, the way that teams defend against you is just different, bro.
Yeah, that's a good shout. You're not going to try and put Sancho in. You're not feeling Sancho ahead of Neto.
No, I don't think. This is my take on Sancho. I think that I don't think that Sancho has been absolutely garbage. I think he's underperformed compared to when he first got here. But I think for the price, bro, trust me, we've paid for worse.
No, Edward, we're doing potential Man United 11 next season.
Yeah, because again, we already yeah. By the way, for anybody who just joined from Will's thing, we're doing a potential plus current, because if we did just current, it would be a lot of Chelsea players just because of the fact that these brothers are they're 17th in the league. Yeah, like there's not much to really say about that, bro.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I would go. Yeah, he's now changed to Cunha. I mean, I didn't even say Ederson in midfield from Atalanta, but I don't think he'd get in, to be fair. You can maybe put him ahead of Enzo, but we haven't seen enough.
Yo, Mr. HD, what's good, my guy?
Clear, so yeah, everyone's put Cunha now. So
you can put Cunha. I don't care, but I do think that if we get a good striker, Neto's assist numbers would skyrocket.
I think Sancho's better than Neto, better footballing in him.
But the issue is, again, if we're doing current season, again, this is why I don't get into arguments of potential, because I think everybody could be a potential. Like Joao Felix is one of the most technical ballers, but if you don't perform, if you don't put up the numbers, then it means nothing, right? Like you need to impact the game. And that's my issue with Sancho, is there are games where he just doesn't impact the game whatsoever. Take away GNA, because I'm not a GNA merchant either. But if you impact the game, then that's what I need you. That's what I need you to see. So that's all I'm saying.
We've got 37 people inside. Yeah, I'm 4 subs off 600 subscribers. 40 people inside now. Come on, people, it's free. Make sure you subscribe to RSM as well. There's links in the title. Yeah, hit the sub button, people. Yeah, I'm 4 subs off 600. We can get to 600. Do you know what I'm saying? I tried to get, my aim was to get 600 by the Europa League final, and now I think we've pretty much smashed that. We can get that tonight. You know what I'm saying? Got 4 people inside, so I imagine 4 people at least haven't subscribed.
Oh, that's actually true, bro. That's actually true, bro. That's actually true. If we're doing potential, the next season we get Esteval, bro, and I think that kid has the potential to be something special. I ain't gonna lie.
Currently, and I'm not hearing another fucking Brazilian from Chelsea, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? But you lot with the youngsters, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? I'd rather wait until they actually perform, because I don't know how good he actually is.
No, I think that kid is special,
I've seen of him. He looks mad skinny. So he needs to. You know,
I think that kid is special. No, I mean, but it's the same. You can say the same thing about. For me, skinny it doesn't matter, bro. Like when you're a technical baller, I'm be rich. Was Neymar ever built, bro? Is Lamine Yamal hella built?
No, Yamal is built though. Yamal's got fucking broke up shoulders, bro.
No, Yamal. That's what I'm saying. But Yamal, it's not like you need muscle mass, bro. Yamal is still skinny. I'm telling you, Neymar. You can tell me Neymar was mad built either? No. And the thing is, it's the same thing with Esteval, bro. It's not like Esteval's like a twig with no muscles either, bro. Like he's in the gym. Like I don't know what to tell you. I still think I agree, but that's a great point, by the way. That's a great point. Like Esteval, if we're talking about potential, I think he has the potential to be like legitimately world class.
We're saying for the striker, because this guy's saying Osimhen or Gyökeres, but I don't think we're gonna get either. I definitely don't think I think he's going to Arsenal.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's going. But I would say
I'm gonna save this comment for later. Yeah, I'm gonna save this comment for later. Yeah. RSV. I'm going to save this comment for later because I've already spoke about this numerous times on my own channel.
No, Sesko's trash, bro. I already said this. Sesko's the worst case scenario for Chelsea Football Club.
Awful, bro.
Sesko's absolute binges.
Jackson, Gyökeres, Osimhen.
No, I would say if Chelsea get Osimhen, then it's Osimhen, bro. That's what I will say, because we're still in for him. That's the one thing.
We hit 600, by the way. Bless up, people. We hit 600.
Hey, congrats, man. Congrats.
Bless up, man. Bless up.
No, but I would 100% say that.
Osimhen's the best.
I'll say Osimhen. I would put Osimhen there. I would just literally put Osimhen. You could say wherever he goes, but I think there's a chance he goes to Chelsea. Especially if we get UCL football, then yeah, I think we can get Osimhen. Vic, yeah, there you go.
The same strikers, isn't it? I think.
I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of strikers right now in world football. I think you guys end up with the lap. I think you guys end up with the lap, bro. That's what I think.
He's a top striker, so yeah.
No, I think this is the thing. I think in terms of Man United strikers, I think he's not gonna end up being like a record breaker for you guys. I think he's a good striker, but he's a far cry from being world class.
No, but he has potential to be very, very good.
Yeah, but I don't think he has the potential to be world class. That's me personally. I think he has the potential to be a very good striker.
I don't know what world class means, so I don't know.
Look, okay, put him into the repertoire of the strikers that you guys have had. Put him into the history of strikers that you guys have had at Man United. He's not making that list.
Musty, chill out, bro. Musty, chill out with that. You know what I'm saying? Musty, chill out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Musty, chill out. Big up to Mohammed, bro. You know what I'm saying? Musty, chill out, man. Chill out, I'm saying. That's crazy, bro. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, are you happy with that 11? Are we happy with that 11? Is the
I'm
chat
I'm
happy with
down,
that
I'm
11?
down with that 11. I'm down with that 11.
How
I ain't got
many
no
Man
problem with
United
that.
players have you got then? Do you get what I'm saying? One Chelsea player, 3 United, 2 Chelsea, 4 Chelsea, 5 Chelsea. And what we saying, Ottoman's your player or my player?
Yeah, I know. I think you guys get the
Say,
lap, so I would say it'd be ours. We're doing potential.
right, so let's say 6-5, yeah?
No, by the
We
way,
saying that?
we know we.
We think
I
you've got
would.
a better squad though. Yeah,
I
I'm
would,
saying.
I would say Reese right back. We already discussed it. It's just because of his injury tax. Because if we took away injury, then I would argue Reese 100%.
And I do think Chelsea, I do think Chelsea are going to get a centre back in the summer that will probably be better than one of our centre backs. Will probably be thingy in. Same with Fofana. You said Fofana. You'd take Fofana in if he wasn't injury prone. So yeah,
Oh, 100%.
Bruno
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it right wing. Now Bruno can't play right wing. Do you know what though? I wouldn't be against putting Palmer right wing and putting Bruno in the
But
10.
Palmer
But
hasn't
I
played
would,
right wing at all. Though. That's the thing.
yeah, but I think he's so much better on the right. He's
Because
so much
no,
more effective on the right.
because quite honestly, if we're doing that, then I would put Caicedo, Enzo, Lavia. Like if we're allowed to put people out of position, then I think Lavia is a better baller than Mazraoui. So I would put Caicedo there and then put Lavia, Enzo midfield, and then I would agree with you putting Palmer on the right and putting Bruno in.
No, I hear it, man. Anyways, what do you want to talk about now? Do you want to wait a bit and then we'll do the other combined 11? We
Yeah,
can
I'm
get
down
through
with
some of
that.
these comments because I haven't got through any of these comments, bro. And I've
Yeah, go
started up
ahead.
40
No,
of them.
go ahead.
So bless up for
Start
everyone in
running
the
through them.
comment section. Bless up for 600 subs as well. Big up to Will for the raid. Do you
Yeah,
know
big
what I'm
up,
saying?
man.
So we just hit 600. So yeah. But yeah, we can discuss this one if you want. Or I'll go through some of these first, and then I'll get to the comment I want to get to. But yeah. Okay, but didn't he get injured when he got transferred? This is about Euro. Yeah, he did get injured when he got transferred.
But he got injured like he got injured in the summer series, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, he got injured in pre-season against Arsenal. Massive game for United, but also Amarin 15th is sackable for most clubs. Manchester United, Europa saves his backside. Yeah, you are right. It is sackable for most clubs, but like I said, there is different context to it. I would still give Amarin the summer. He's got to win the Europa League, though. He has to, because if he doesn't, the media are going to be on his back. Tottenham winning the Europa League. I don't know what do you think is going to happen? Because I know you want Tottenham to win.
No, I think United is like what I want to versus what realistic is going to happen. I think United win. I think that's the most realistic. I think Spurs are missing too many pieces. I think United have shown themselves to be really, really good in these cup runs. So that's why I think United is going to end up winning, but I would prefer Spurs to win.
40 points against Chelsea. I'll be surprised if we get a draw, but I just don't see it. I feel the same way for Chelsea with B team rotation here. Jackson suspended, so Neto or Tariq plays centre forward.
Yeah.
What do you know? What's happened to Nkuku? Is he not fit, or is he just out? Is he just being like brushed?
No, he's injured now. He's injured now. He like got something again, so that's why he wasn't even on the bench in the past couple games.
Man, I still don't believe Man United is this down bad as a club. 16th and the manager isn't getting sacked is insane. I hear it, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I hear it. Enzo is the perfect representation of how big fall off for Spurs. I discussed. Yeah, he's not worth 120 million.
But the issue is that's just like that has nothing to do with Enzo or like even somebody like Caicedo or Rice. Like if you look at it back in the day, you told somebody CDMs would be going for over 100. They all look at you crazy. It's just the market that we're in right now. It's overinflated. It is what it is. Like
I think we will see the same lineup and make the same change second half. Can't risk James too tough before the final. Yeah, but you lot should be fine. I mean, I won't be arrogant because I do think Betis. I actually think Betis probably will win it. But
I don't think Betis. I don't think Betis. I think Betis lose it just because they're never gonna win the midfield battle, bro. That's why I think Betis lose.
Maybe, yeah. Will Amarin be the worst Man United manager in history when they lose? No, he won't be.
No, but it's like you know what?
No one's ever worse than his two predecessors in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ten Hag. Even though Ten Hag won 2 trophies, them two have set the football club back 5 years, bro.
Yeah, I would say this though. I would say this like, and I said this before. I think it's gonna be really interesting in terms of what happens to both clubs if they lose, because both. I wouldn't even argue that just this season. I would think like the next 2 to maybe 3 seasons, Spurs and United are banking on winning that final.
No, Frankie.
Because it changes a lot.
Kimmich is one of the best players in any team could sign. What the fuck you talking about? Kimmich is shit. He's shit, bro.
Yeah, Betis hype, man. I agree. Betis hype, bro.
You're not spending 200 million. It's just talking about Man United. All right, this is probably about you, lot, isn't it? Because we haven't spent 200 million. How much?
After spending 200 million, you talking about us? No, I think we will still spend. I just don't think it's gonna be like a billion again in like 2 windows. I don't see that happening again. But we're still gonna spend. Like we're still Chelsea Football Club. So
Martinez has been better than Kubarasi this season. Kubarasi's 10 times higher ceiling their close run out, but this is always a different. Yeah, Kubarasi's better though, isn't he? Let's be real.
that's
It's
yeah,
like
that's
Euro,
insane.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, how is any 16th player? Because it's next season, bro. If it wasn't next season, I would be shameless. I'd probably put 1 or 2 United players in. Do you know what I'm saying? One of your friends, I've seen that one. Big up the boys at the Chels on the charge of Farage. That's crazy, bro. Big up to Musty, man. By the way, people, before people get rattled, I'm pretty sure Musty's black, so he's being sarcastic when he says that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Ahmad is clear of Nani. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I don't think that's crazy to say.
It's not crazy to say. I saw a Newcastle. Do you know a few months ago I saw a Newcastle fan tell me Jacob Murphy is better than Amad Diallo?
It is what it is, bro. Like I don't know what to say. It's just like,
but
you know what it is though. It's like I was about to say it's the same thing that happened with us last season where people were like, oh, Caicedo's been trashed. I'm like, you guys have not seen him past the debut game. Like people literally did not watch Caicedo past the debut game. Like he had a bad debut game, and ever since then, like he stood up and he's been a great player. But it's just what it is when your team is in the mud, bro. Like even your good players get thrown in. So.
Hey, touchline, are you making an XR combined? Yeah, I am, bro. I don't know Edwin's channel, bro. I don't know what Edwin's channel is. If Newcastle were to ease tonight, I'd love Bruno Gomes, bro. I just would love Bruno.
You guys need him. You guys need somebody like that in the midfield.
Bruno Gomes. You could put Bruno Gomes next to Mainu in a 2 midfield. Sorted, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Sorted. But it ain't gonna happen. City missed a complete trick not buying him. By the way, they missed a complete trick not buying him. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yeah, Tonali's unreal. So they did it against you, didn't they? Played 5 at the back and put Bruno and Tonali in midfield.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Lost it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, that was after. Well, that was after the early goal. But I would argue we still that's what's frustrating. That's why I fucking despise Jackson. I was like, I feel like we could have won that game, bro. Real talk. Like even when they were sitting 5 in the back, we were still getting opportunities in on goal. Pope had to make 2 really good saves, bro.
Awesome and the Gyökeres.
Awesome, man. All day, every day, bro.
Nah, Gyökeres is better. Gyökeres is clear.
Nah, awesome is a bagsman, bro.
Yeah, and Gyökeres is a bagsman, and he's about to break. He's about to win the fucking the shoe thing. And he's actually very technical. I just think that when I look at I've looked at Gyökeres and the majority of his goals come from drifting in the left into a lot of space that I don't think that he's gonna get in the Prem, especially if he goes to a big club. A lot, bro. I'm saying when you are in a big club, a ton, and I mean a ton, bro, are going to play low blocks against you when you're in a big club, and he's not gonna get the spacing that he gets in behind in the Portuguese league. Yeah. I don't think he's going to score 50, 60 goals in the Premier League, but you know what I'm saying. So,
yeah.
But yeah. Question for touchline: would you trade Ineos for Clearlake and Todd Bowley? No, I wouldn't. I think I've heard you say this before. That you seem to think that Ineos isn't better than Clearlake.
No, I don't.
I mean, a lot of Chelsea fans seem to think they aren't. I don't know why, because track record wise. In sport, they've done more successful in sport than them.
Yeah, but that means nothing, because then if we do that, then Todd Bowley has been hella successful, bro. Like his team just won a fucking World Series, and then they signed like the best player maybe in like baseball history potentially in Ohtani. Like if we do that, like we can do that. But when it comes to specifically football, like I don't think that I've seen enough from Ineos. I think that Ineos has shown themselves in terms of the decision making to not be the best in their decision making.
Their recruitment's been a better hit rate so far than Chelsea's.
I need to see more. Like I think this summer answers a lot of questions.
Even if we're going into this summer, the players we're linked with, Edison, Delap, Cunha, they're 3 players that rise us up the table straight away.
Yeah, but we can get into that later. But I don't think that the rise is going to be as meteoric as you think. But fair enough.
Right, but Clearlake have took you backwards.
How?
How have they not? They took you from 3rd, champions of Europe, champions of the world, to 12th.
You do realize that that was the UK government that took our owner. It wasn't Clearlake. It's not like Clearlake like literally held
but I'm saying
Abramovich at gunpoint.
Clearlake have took your football club backwards. Like they've made you worse.
No, the squad that was inherited was trash, bro. Like people forget that champion. Hold up. So that squad. Hold up. Stop. That squad. No, the squad that won us that UCL is the same squad that ended us 12th. I don't understand what people struggle to understand that.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. That was
A lot, hold up, a lot of the main
No, but the
pieces were
reason why
still
we
there, bro.
finished,
A lot of the
the
pieces were there, bro.
We had the same problem with our club culturally. Clear Lake were trying to get rid of majority of those players because they
The
wanted to get rid of
players
them.
were
And
still there, bro. That's my whole point,
they
man.
hired Graham Potter. They hired Graham Potter, who was shit manager, and they bought a bunch of shit players. They had Sterling, Cucurella wasn't good in his first season. Do you get what I'm saying? Enzo in January, Mudryk in January.
But again,
Fafana. So
okay, hold up. But again, no, but again, that has nothing to do with them single-handedly taking us. Again, if these were the same players who won us the UCL, then they should have been better than to not let us end in 12th. But bro, we ended the season like 38 goals or some shit like that. Like my whole point being, there were times where our goal of the month was literally a pen, like because we had no other goals in that month. I'm telling you right now, as a Chelsea fan who had to sit through and watch that entire season, I'm not blaming that season on Clear Lake. They're not the ones. You can blame them for everything after. You can blame them for the transfer strategy, etc. And I've even said I can say a lot of shit about Clear Lake, about Todd Bowley, about Igbali, right? But at the end of the day, one thing that they have not done is be stingy with the money. They spend a shit ton of money. We can argue about if they spent it well, right? Where they should be spending it. But in terms of actually spending money, they've spent money. Y'all are out here having your manager fly a team out. You have to fly their family out and the staff members out.
What's that got to do with Ineos?
No. My whole point being, Ineos is very clearly not willing or not able to put the money on the table to get a lot of the players. Because and this is my point. You think that there's going to be, and we can get into this later, but you think there's going to be some sort of.
It's not they're not willing to spend money. We don't have money.
We don't have money.
Had money and you scratched it all.
But this is my whole. But what I'm saying is, right? Ineos, even in when they have money, what did you spend it on? You didn't sack Ten Hag, right? They let Ten Hag get in how many summer signings? 5.
None of them were probably, apart from Delit and maybe Mazraoui, none of them were.
Because let's be quite honest. Hey, hold up. If Ineos, I was just saying, if Ineos sacked Ten Hag, right, and hired Amram, do you think Amram would have gone in for Ugarte?
No, I don't think he would have. I think Ugarte is shit. I don't think genuinely. I think they meant that. I mean, maybe it was Ashworth. I think Ashworth was the one who wanted Ugarte personally. And I imagine that's so because the way that Wilcox and the other ones, they talk about football, they don't buy players like Ugarte. He's the opposite of what they want. And this season, and we've just done a combined 11 of potential, yeah. And you've put, well, the chat have gone Cunha, so everyone thinks he's a good signing. I imagine everyone thinks Delap's are going to be a good signing. Everyone's going to think Edison's going to be a good signing. Last summer window, yeah, we listen.
But
we signed Mazraoui, who you put in the 11. We signed Delit, who you put in the 11. So let's not pretend that they've made.
No, but hold up. I'm not pretending. I'm just saying in terms of their decision making, right? That's my whole. That's my.
Yes or no? Did they inherit a bigger mess than what Clear Lake inherited?
No. Clear Lake. No. Hold up. No. Hold up. In terms of the squad, hold up. In terms of squad, you remember, bro. Again, people forget. Hold up. People. No. Yeah, no. In terms of the club, yeah, your club is. But you know what? I would argue though, low key, and again, it hasn't caught up to us. But I do think, and I've said this to a lot of Chelsea fans who got pissed at me. If we had kept Roman, we would have gotten so many sanctions. We would have been in the 18th and 19th division playing in like in a park if Roman was still our owner. Because you see how they're coming down with all these sanctions, with all these things on City. Roman, we know, and we know the reason we're not getting punished is because we self-reported. We self-reported that Roman did all these things, and we're gonna pay like fines in terms of money, but we're not gonna pay any fines in terms of points or getting relegated or any other stuff. So that was already a mess in terms of what Roman. But shout out Roman, he's a real G. He did what he needed to do, and then he did before we had to suffer the consequences. I'm not gonna lie, G move. However, Clear Lake, in terms of a squad, our squad was over bloated. Remember the whole meme? How many buses do Chelsea need? People are, they're outside the locker room getting ready, right? We don't have any space for anybody. I'm not gonna act like Clear Lake came in to an amazing situation and it was all good. And again, I do think, and this is my whole point, this summer will show if Ineos is
their fault, though. They bought all their players that made it overplayed.
No, bro. A lot of them, 90% of the squad was Roman players, bro. 90% of the squad was Roman players. You gotta remember, we used to loan out.
So buy like 10 players, and then it got overfloated. That Mudryk had to change.
But hold up. Let me explain. Do you know what ended up happening? The reason why UEFA changed the rules on loaning players is because we used to buy a shit ton of players and loan them everywhere. And then when the rules changed, we got stuck with a ton of players that would put us that we would usually have in other years loaned out a ton of players that we were no longer able to loan out because the UEFA changed the rules. So you can't just loan out willy-nilly 1 million players. So our locker room was a mess. We tried to. I agree. Like they were, and that was in that window when we bought 10 players. There was no sporting directors. It was just Todd Bowley, and Todd Bowley has no idea about football, bro. Zero. He just wanted big.
Ride out for Clear Lake. They have turned your club into a glorified Brighton. Yeah, they inherited the champions of Europe.
But like this is such. But the thing is, this is my issue, bro. This is such surface level analysis, bro. This is surface level.
They've now got you lot scrambling for top 4. You've not won a trophy under their tenure, right? You might win the Conference League, right? But you've not won a trophy yet. Yeah, Ineos have already won a trophy, but cool, we're not going to be shameless and say that was their trophy they won. That wasn't really their thing. I mean, you could say it was because they could have sacked Tenag when as soon as they got here and they didn't, and he won the trophy. However, they're going to go. Their manager, their actual manager they've hired, yeah, their first manager they've hired is on close to winning. Is in a final which we both believe we're going to win. And their recruitment so far has been better, albeit they've made less signings. However, Chelsea have made about 50 signings and made about 8 hits. Whereas United, I'd say 3 out of 5 has been hits. And Xerxes, I wouldn't say he's great, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yo, this is a great comment. Quote unquote champions of Europe needed Spurs to beat Leicester to finish 4th. But my whole point is that's what I'm saying. Like I lived through it as a Chelsea fan. You could try to tell me this is what happened, bro. I'm telling you, I lived through it. I was there. I saw all the issues that were at the club. But what I'm saying is what you're doing is very surface level analysis, bro. You're trying to do the standards. This is that. This I'm telling you the exact team that made us champions of Europe at that point had deteriorated, bro. It had deteriorated. Jorginho was not who he once was. Conte was riddled with injuries, bro. Thiago Silva was aging. We had massive issues in the squad, bro. Massive issues in the squad. We had a ton of players that we could not get rid of.
Cool. That's all cool. We can agree with that. Then why did they buy a team that then finished 12th, 6th, and now are probably going to finish 6th?
They didn't. I'm telling you, the team that finished 12th was not the same. They came in, and the first window that they had was that winter window where they got Enzo.
Cool. So if you're going to do that, then this isn't Ineos' team.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. My issue with Ineos isn't the players that they bought in or their hit rate or anything. That's what I'm saying. This coming window is when I think you can make a real judgment on Ineos, because then it'll be last window. It'll be last window. It'll be last window and pretty much this window that they have had, right, to move players on and to get in players and get in the manager that they want, right? So that's what I'm saying. You look at this coming summer window and then you can judge Ineos. I can't say that Ineos is better or Ineos is worse or anything. I wouldn't prefer Ineos because I think the one thing I will give Clear Lake is the fact that I think Poch was a massive dud. They moved on. If a manager is a dud, they do not want to stick with that manager and just try to wait it out or try to do all this stuff. That's one thing I will give them. That's what I'm saying. And in terms of the amount of money that we spent on players, a lot of the money that we have spent on players has been youth players, has been potential, has been to try to just trade money and do this and do that. Because the reality is we're not making a lot of money in our stadium because our stadium is tiny. So we're not making revenue that way. We're losing revenue because we're not in UCL. So they're trying to put in plans to where we can have this process of scouting young players and selling them for more money than we once bought them for, to try to finance revenue to get big name players in. Have they done that yet? I don't think so. That's what I'm thinking. I think that they are failing to do what they set out to do. I think that they need to stop worrying about signing only players under 25, etc. However, when it comes to Ineos, people are acting like Ineos is light years clear. I don't think that Ineos have had even enough time to show whether they are light years clear or not. That's what I'm saying. Give them this window and then see how that ends up. Because remember, last window, and this is my whole point as well, is when you look at on paper, this is that on paper, like when we did the combined 11 and all this other stuff. And that's all cool. That's all nice. But when it comes to actually playing the games, remember, bro, when the summer window ended, people were like, yo, Chelsea have the most attacking depth in all the league. The attack is this, the attack is that. What ended up happening with the attack? What did Nkunku look like? What did Sancho end up being like? But that's what I'm saying, though. But before a ball was even kicked, even rivals were saying, yo, this attack is something to be scared of. This attack is this attack is that. Look at the signings that they made in attack. My whole point being, it's all nice to say shit on paper, to say our squad, this player is better, this player. But there is no guarantee when a player comes in that they're going to hit the ground running, that they're going to be amazing the first season, that they're going to solve the issues you think they're going to solve, or that they're even going to be a hit.
Well, yeah,
which is what I'm saying. Give Ineos one more season. That's my whole point. And then we can make judgments.
both own another 2 clubs in another league, by the way, which is the French league, and these are actually currently above Strasbourg, despite Strasbourg having a bunch of Chelsea players that were loaned out to Strasbourg and stuff like that.
Well, some of
So
the
they
I would
are
argue
currently
the only Chelsea player that they had that actually played time at Chelsea is Petrovic. Santos never played. Santos never played.
You rate Santos though. You rate Santos. So
No. Stop, bro. But he never played for Chelsea though. That's what I'm saying. It's not like these are Chelsea players. Like these players never played for Chelsea. Pretty much, they got. You could say that, but in terms of like you saying like, oh, there's Chelsea level talent that would start for the first team is getting sent to Strasbourg. That's not the case.
No, I don't. I'm not saying that. I don't think that is. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, I would say the only one is Petrovic because before this season, this is Santos's breakout season.
All right, cool. Listen, I think all will be proven this summer when we are once again have a better summer than Clear Lake and Man United finish above Chelsea, which gives us a nice little thing to move on to the next segment. Next season, who finishes higher? Let's go. You start.
All right, I think next season, I think we still finish higher. I think you don't jump from being 16.
If you finish the next season.
What? I think we finish in UCL spots again. I think next season I want us to be challenging for the league. I don't think we're gonna win it. I haven't seen enough summer signings.
You told me you're only 3 or 4 players away from challenging. So,
but that's what I'm saying. Okay. But let me finish. You didn't even let me finish. I think I don't. No. But hold up. When am I getting gassed up? That's crazy. So I can't even say I'm gonna finish top 5. Oh, you gassing up the play, bro? You need to. Okay. Do you know the term? Okay. Do you know the term hyperbolic? Right. Everything you say, you blow up to the absolute extreme. Sometimes you just need to take what people say at face value. You need to stop doing these surface level analysis. Like, oh, if I say this team is good, so you think they're world class, so you think you're gonna beat us, bro? That's not what I'm saying at all. So we need to take it down a bit. All right. What I'm saying is, I think we're gonna be UCL. I want us to be challenging next season. I think we are 3 to 4 positions from being able to do that. Do I think Clearly get it done this summer? I don't know. I don't think so. But I do think that we're going to improve the team in such a manner that we are able to sustain top 5, bro. And I'm gonna be quite honest. One of the biggest reasons why is I don't believe that you are going to make enough changes wholesale in the team to be able to go from literally above the relegation zone to somehow immediately in top 5 contention. I don't see it happening. I don't think it's gonna happen. That's way too drastic of a change. Like that and you're gonna point to me, oh, but Forest did, etc., etc. Forest have been in a process for a long time. Amrim, bro, this Forest owner, they've been recruiting this talent. They've been building this team for a while. This team has been building for a decent amount of time. Right. This United team has not.
You're forgetting one massive thing there, that they had a worse starting point than we've had. Our team is not this bad. We all agree. United's team is not 17th bad.
No. I know. You know what it is though. What I think is that, no. This United team though is the same. Is for me the same as the Chelsea team that ended 12th. Like that's what I think the most likely the actual position should be, like around 12th, around 10th, around there. That's what I think this United team is. But I don't think that you do enough, like I'm saying, because this assumption is based on Chelsea don't improve, right? Newcastle don't improve, Villa don't improve, right? That these teams do not improve. And I do, and again, that's
Villa won't improve. Villa will probably get worse next season, I reckon.
Chelsea will. But this is my point. If somebody told you last season,
you've got a worse manager than us.
If somebody told you last season Forest is going to end up fighting for UCL football and United is going to be bottom of the table, would you have believed them?
No, but I can.
Okay, wait. Now let me continue. Hold up. Let me build up on my points. Right? It's because I'm building an argument. So if you didn't believe that, right? What does that show you? And this is my exact point. And this is the point that I made with people, right, who were saying, oh, our attack is the best in the league. We have the best attacking depth in the league. That looked all nice when the summer window ended. What happened when games ended up being played in the league? Because the league table at this point does not lie. You ended up where you ended up. And I do think that you guys are going to see a marked improvement. But I don't think that you guys are going to leapfrog Chelsea. I don't think that you're going to leapfrog Newcastle. I don't think that you're going to leapfrog Villa.
With the Forest thing, you just said to me, you don't think you wouldn't have thought last season that Nottingham Forest would finish above Man United, and Man United will be in this division. Nottingham Forest. That point isn't directed at me. That point was directed at you, and I'm gonna tell you why. That point was directed at you because I'm saying, right, you are saying with full confidence, right, this is gonna be this, this is gonna be this, gonna be this, and I'm saying you can say that, right, but you also have to admit within yourself that there is also a possibility that that is not the case, right? You admit that, right? There could be a case that we don't do that. We're gonna finish above Chelsea, but I just think with the players we're linked with, yeah, I think, and firstly, I'd start off, I think we've got a better manager than you. Yeah, I don't think that's outrageous. Yes, in the league, you don't know how good he's in the Premier League, but I mean, I've seen Maresca in the Championship. I've seen him in Serie A as well with Parma. So it's not like Maresca's got a great track record to go off with. I think Amorim is a better manager than him. I don't think that's outrageous to say. I think there's a reason why you wanted him. There's a reason why Liverpool were looking at him. There's a reason why City were looking at him to be Pep's successor. So that's not like, you know, I mean, with Enzo Maresca, other than you lot, who was looking at him? Was City looking at him? Were fucking Liverpool looking at him? No.
Who was, and so, my question is, okay, but my thing is, right, after this season, I don't see, first of all, Enzo Maresca, this is the whole thing that I initially with Enzo Maresca, is he's an inexperienced manager. He's an inexperienced manager, and he's learning on the job exactly the same as the players.
How old is he?
In terms of his actual career as a coach, is a lot different.
No, how old is he? As a person,
I have no clue, bro.
Because he looks to me quite old.
He's 45.
So he's 6 years older than Amorim.
Yeah, but his managing career has been different, bro. But my whole point is, I'm saying he's inexperienced. Like I said, age has nothing to do with your managerial experience.
Yeah, that's true. But,
and my whole point is, I'm saying I don't you are saying, oh, the Amorim is a better manager, etc., etc. But in the Premier League, is a lot different than in a lot of other leagues, even for managers translating to this league. It's not as easy, and there will be difficulties. There is these different sticking points in terms of the tactical setups that teams throw at you, week in, week out. Amorim was not seeing the type of tactical setups that are thrown at him in the Prem as he was seeing in the Portuguese league, right? So you can tell me that he's a better coach, etc. But I'm saying we need to see, and this is my whole point. You need to see a summer preseason under Amorim, right? The signings, and then see him in the league to be able to really make a judgment. Because I think a lot of people have been saying, for example, oh, there are, he should be sacked. He's just in the league. And I'm like, bro, but you brought him in mid-season when he literally told you guys he wanted to wait until the summer. And then you didn't back him properly in the winter window. So it's like, but that's what I say, but like you guys, like you didn't do enough to really see what Amorim is made of, which is why I agree with people saying that you shouldn't sack him. But until there is evidence, that he has done better in the Prem than Maresca, I don't think you can out and out say, oh, he is a better, because at the end of the day, the results are on the table, right? The results are on the table. There have been times when he has stuck to players that have not been working, that he sticks with a pair of eights that don't complement each other. And I've heard United fans complain about it game in, game out.
Have a pair of eights that do complement each other. So
no, I agree. But there are people that say, oh, he's not putting out his best lineup. He's sticking with this player that's not working. He's continuing to play. Garnacho's continuing to not. He didn't play. What's his name, bro? The guy who's injured, the 9.
What the hell? What is going on with your camera, mate?
Hold on, my bad. Hold up. The camera gotta catch me 1 second.
Yeah, what's it called? But as I'm saying, right, that's all cool. I do think I stand by. I think he's a better manager than Maresca. I think in the summer we're gonna have a better window than you guys.
Yeah, Xerxes, that's his name, bro. Xerxes. Like he didn't play Xerxes. He kept playing Højlund. Like these are all valid points, bro.
Wait, hold on. Xerxes better than Højlund, but he's not like, it's not like Xerxes gonna fucking sort of change Man United's fortunes because he's
no. I agree, but bro, Højlund might be one of the worst strikers the Prem has ever seen. I think you can admit that, bro.
Yeah, I can agree. I'd probably say it's the worst I've ever seen. But yeah, I can agree with that. But I'm saying I think in the summer we're gonna have a better window than you. I think next season I actually think you're gonna fall apart because I actually think your players are gonna fall out with Maresca because I don't think he's that good, and I think they're gonna just there's gonna get to a point where they're looking at it going, this manager's just not good.
There's literally zero fucking evidence for that. Like you, like at that point, it's just like
this is why it's a prediction, bro. There is
but again, in terms of prediction, right? Like I like to speak predictions with at least some level of reality, right?
Let me finish. Cole Palmer released an Instagram story about a month ago saying freedom. And it was a video of him scoring a goal last season. Instantly, that makes me feel like he doesn't feel like he's.
But do you know why that was, or do you not know? Do you have the context of that or no?
Well, it's obvious that he's not getting freedom under Maresca. It's pretty simple.
No, the Premier League posted that. He reposted it and he put that, and he has, bro, and he was doing. By the way, you understand, right, that he is playing in the exact same positions as he was last season. He is the he's the only player that is allowed to go wherever he wants on the pitch. And any Chelsea fan who tells you otherwise is literally fucking lying to you. You will see him pick up the ball from the back line. You will see him in the box. You will see him on the left side. You will see him on the right side. He is literally allowed to do and go on the whatever he wants on the pitch. He is the only player that is allowed to do that in the system. The only one. Which is why my whole point is, which is why a lot of Chelsea fans will tell you, why do we continue to protect Palmer by blaming Maresca when it has been Palmer's fault that he has been poor? It is on Palmer.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that's what I'm.
Okay, but no, okay.
Let me finish. I've seen it with my own club, the culture of the football club. Yeah, they've sacked what 3 or 4 managers now. Yeah, rightfully or wrongfully. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm not going to get into that conversation. Yeah, you could say I've been Pochettino. Some people liked, some people didn't. Me personally, I don't think you're that much better off Oscar, but I think you've probably been better this season than last season. But you'd expect to do that after spending 300 million. You'd expect to be better than you were last season, the previous season, when you didn't have that 300 million. But yeah, we're not going to get into that. My point is I do see the players losing faith in a manager that clearly is out of his depth. He's clearly not good enough. Do you get what I'm saying? There's nothing to base off Maresca being a good manager. There's nothing. He's done nothing in his career. And you said he's 45. He's done nothing in his career for me to sit there and go, there's something.
Okay,
there
hold up. I could use.
He comes across very, very. Listen, this is why he studied from the school of Pep, just like Arteta. Yeah, he comes across very, 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 very arrogant. Yeah, he's sitting there waffling in press conferences. I've already seen him. He's sitting there with low standards, low mentality. I mean, a manager being 1 game off being top of the league, saying we're not in a title race, and then saying that the objective is top 4 next season, not this season, next season. Whilst they were already floating around top 4, he's sitting there waffling about how they're a better team this season than they were last season and all this stuff. And I thought it was mad, shameless, and hilarious. I think he's going to lose the dressing room. I think you're going to end up getting him sacked. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you sacked him in the summer, but I do think you'll probably end up getting next season. And I think you lot will fall off, and I think that will be one of the reasons why we finish above you next season. I think we're going to have a good summer. I think we're going to sign DeLap. I think we're going to sign Cunha, because I do think we're going to win the Europa League. I think we're going to sign Edison. I think we're going to get a goalkeeper. I think we're going to get another midfielder. If we sell Bruno Fernandes as well, I think we're probably going to get someone like Adam Walton, something like that in the midfield. I think we're going to get a wing back. I think we could even get a Cherky as well. I think we're going to go and sign 6 or 7 players this summer. We're going to get rid of 8 or 9, and I think we're going to be right back up for the top 5. I don't think we're going to be above. Depending on other teams' windows, I don't think Newcastle should be good. Man City, I think, will be back above everyone else again, and Arsenal and Liverpool. Them teams are already ahead of us, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? So I won't win with them, but I think the likes of Chelsea, Villa. I know you're not far off City and Newcastle this season, but we're not idiots, innit? Do you know? So we're not idiots. We know City and Newcastle are only they'll sign a few players this summer because they get it, and Isak. They've already got
so let me get the hold up. So let me get this straight. You're giving United best possible scenario and Chelsea worst case scenario. Let me put it to you this way, right? Based on this season, right? Based on current results in the Prem.
I don't think this is the best possible scenario now.
Hold up. So, right. Yeah, even your chat is saying this is very optimistic. So I'll put it to you this way, right? I could also put you a scenario, right? Which is not out of the realm of possibility, right? You don't sign the players that you need. You don't get every single sign that you need across the line, right? Incomplete squad rebuild going into next season. Amram does not hit the ground running. Hold up.
What are you basing it off?
I'm basing it off the fact that, right, you guys are having a poor end of season, bro. It doesn't matter. You guys have not won a game in a very long time. Hold up. What are you basing your window off the fact you're gonna get everybody that you hope you get? This is my point. If you're gonna present one scenario, right, based off of your beliefs and your feelings and who you are linked to, if we do windows based exactly who we're linked to and we're gonna get across the line. So hold up, let me finish this. Hold up, let me finish this. If you're gonna put that, then I could put to you exactly the same scenario. In the window, you get a couple signings that you were linked to, but you don't get some of the ones that you're linked to, right? So incomplete squad rebuild, right? You don't move on some of the players that you wanted to move on from. So you have a more of a bloated squad. Amram does not hit the ground running, and some of the issues that you saw last season continue to be a problem into the new season, and you struggle for form in the league, right? You start to get battered in the Champions League, right? And the players start losing faith. They start turning on Amram. The fans start turning on Amram. This is as equally a plausible of a scenario as what you are presenting, as what you're saying might happen to Chelsea. But my whole point is, you know, reality tends to be more in the middle. But that's my whole point. Yeah. I think next season you will see an improvement in United. I think you will get some of the signings you need. I think the squad rebuild is still probably one window away from being 100% new squad that Amram has built under his vision. I think you will be better, but I think Chelsea is going to improve. I don't think we're going to get worse. I think your idea of, they're going to turn on the players, it's all going to unravel. Like, That's not really based on anything. If that were the case, for example, then the players after Ipswich game would have downed tools, yes or no? The players would have said we're giving up on this manager after we drew to Ipswich 2-2. They would have said this project, these players, were going nowhere, but they didn't. We kept getting results and we kept winning. So it's like I don't.
I can agree with the point on Amarin that you don't know if Amarin's going to be good. I can agree with that. But the window one, do you think we're going to sign Matheus Cunha? Because I think it's already done.
No, but that's my whole point. I think you sign Cunha, but I don't think, for example, I don't think you get the keeper in that you guys want. I don't. No, but that's a big if. That's like these are ifs. There's no guarantee that you guys get the lap, right? I think Cunha, is a lot more guaranteed than the lap.
You already said you think we're gonna get the lap, and you're. I
think because, but if, for example, I could put you this scenario, right? Because in a final, anything can happen. Spurs win that final, I don't think you get the lap, and your summer window changes. But that's my point. Like we are speaking about things. I think when the Europa final ends, I think it's a more fruitful conversation to have, because then we can see what type of money, what type of pull that you guys are working with this summer versus if you lose the final. I like a lot is based on that final for you guys, and that's the truth. Yeah. But whereas
luckily we're against Spurs, so
you get and they're injured, but that's what I'm saying. But anything can happen in the final. Anyways, besides the point, and that's the same thing. That's the same thing. But that's what I'm saying.
Agree with that with Amarin as well.
But why? Okay, but my question is that why for Chelsea are you giving us, right, in your prediction, the worst case scenario, right? The project unravels, right? We lose players, which is really what you're saying, right? Players are lost. They no longer want to listen to the manager. We have a poor window, right? Like you are literally giving us worst case scenario, legitimately.
Because I don't rate your manager and I don't rate your own.
But I could say the same thing. At this point in time, I think Ineos fucked up by not sacking Ten Hag when they needed to. I think signing Ugarte was dumb as hell and set you guys back. I think a lot and I think you're not gonna be able to move on Højlund. I don't think you're moving off of Onana. And I can point all these different things. But even then, I don't give you worst case scenario. I give you the most realistic thing that I think is going to happen. I give you somewhere in the middle because that's where reality tends to be. Like, if we want to do fan fiction, if we want to do the banter of, oh, I think you guys are going to be just as shit next season. I think Onana's going to continue having howlers. I think Mainu's going to leave. I think Ahmad might leave. I think all your good players are going to leave because you guys are shit. Like, we could do this, a fairy tale scenario. Or we could talk what more realistically might end up happening. Because you think, oh, I don't like your manager. So what, bro? The players are improving. The manager system, based on the eye test and based on the stats, is better than we were under Poch. We would have to concede like 18 or some shit goals to be worse than Poch. So I think the team has improved. The manager is an improvement off of Poch. So, and if we do end up getting UCL football, then this season was legitimately better than last season. So I don't think that we're going to have the massive fall off that you say we're going to happen. And I don't think that you guys are going to leapfrog it, but I do think you're going to be in and around it for way more than you were this season.
Well, cool. But we did a potential Man United 11 already. You put 5 Man United players in next season. So that's because. Hold on. Come on, let me speak now. Let me speak. You did that, right? Cool. I'm basing off, yes, you're saying I give you the worst possible scenario. Yeah, I do, because I've got enough, which we all agree. You said you haven't got Ineos enough sample size of Ineos. I've got enough sample size of Clearlake to know what they're about. I know exactly how they conduct themselves in interviews. I've listened to Clearlake. I've listened to what's his name, Egg Barley, talking interviews. All he talks about is gassing up the Brighton model and how well Brighton are run as a football club. Me personally, you could say it's the worst possible scenario. That's cool, but I think we're gonna have a better window than you, and I think Amarin's a better manager. So therefore, I think we're gonna finish above you.
I think that you guys are so far behind us that even if you do have a better window, because your squad is so bad.
Based off of what? Hold on, based off of what?
Based that you guys are behind us.
Actual squad, not in terms.
Yes, your actual squad. No, so your actual squad. I think you guys are very much stuck with Onana. I think you wasted a ton of money on Højlund. I think hold up, Bruno's getting up there in age. Casemiro's getting up there in age, right? I think you have a couple of promising signings, but there's no guarantee that Euro is not going to continue being injury prone. Same thing that happened with Fofana, right? There's a lot of ifs, right? Things that I can say, right, is that this Chelsea squad is young. We are improving from last season, right? We have players like Caicedo, we have players like Enzo, we have players like Lavia, we have players like Palmer, right? We have all these things on the table that we can look towards for the next couple of years. You're not looking at the next 5-6 years of United and looking at Bruno, looking at Casemiro, right? Looking at Onana, looking at Højlund, looking at Højlund.
Cunha, which we're gonna get. You're looking at Ahmad. You know what I'm saying? And you've already.
But hold on, but this is my whole point, and this is what I told you before. These things are not done on paper. So you were telling me we're gonna sign Cunha. Let's hold up. Let me see what they look like in the United squad. Let me see how they look when they play for a top club, right? Because it is a very big jump playing relegation to playing for a top club like Manchester United. And as much as we can rate players, some of them crumble under the pressure. And I'm not saying that they will. I'm not saying that they won't. I'm saying that we need to see. I think that you guys have a lot more work to do. I think that you guys have a lot of ifs, right? So that's the only reason I'm saying that I think if you guys do best case scenario and we do worst case scenario, sure. But I think in terms of the law of averages, we're just ahead of you.
You're still not taking into account though. You're acting as if it's like it's impossible that we can finish above you next season. But I've given you another example of this season Nottingham Forest finishing where we finished. And before you sit there and tell me Nottingham Forest have been building for 8 years and all this stuff, they also were in fucking Championship or League One. They had a massive worst starting point, yeah. And also they bought fucking Hudson-Odoi from you lot. They bought fucking Alanga from us lot. They bought players that were not good enough for our football clubs, and yet they managed to get one manager in. He then got one summer window, and he took them from 17th to what they were third for a long time. Now they're going to finish 7th or 6th. 7th. But yeah, so what you tell me that can't happen to Man United?
I'm not saying it can't happen to Man United, right? What I am saying is I think you guys have a lot more work to do. That is my whole point. And this is what, look, even common sense is, that's what I'm saying. Nothing is impossible. And that's my whole point. But the reality that you guys jump from being 16th, right, to contending for top 4 every season is in
the big games we're already betting you. In the big games, we're already betting.
But the thing is, what's saying in the big games, bro, in the big games, that's cool. But the league, and everybody admits the league is the bread and butter, right? And at this point at this point in the season, the table doesn't lie, right? To jump from 17th to being in the top 4 is a massive jump. And you are basing this on no evidence that has yet to be provided in the league for why you guys would be able to, throughout a league season, sustain a top 4 charge.
I guess we'll have to find out, right? Let's do the last combined 11 before we wrap up, because that went on for far too long. But yeah, we'll do the last combined 11. Hold on, how do I? Let me just set line up builder. Hold on, we've been 1 hour and a half. I've got 17 people in here. Hit the sub button, people. Come on, it's free, man. Get me to 605 subs. Road to 1K's on, bro. I'm trying to get 1K in the summer. Hold on, this fucking. I need to get an ad blocker, man. Let me put the screen share on. One sec, bro.
Exo, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. It's just it is what it is, bro. That's what he thinks, man.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's do this. All-time combined 11.
Yeah.
So you put your goalkeeper forward. I put mine.
I mean, I'd probably put Czech. I think Courtois' best season probably at Madrid.
Yeah, I agree. What?
So
who do I go with, bro? I got Van der Sar. I got De Gea. I got Peter Schmeichel.
I would argue Schmeichel before any of the other two, me personally, but
yeah, but I never fucking watched him, bro.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't know. What are we saying in the chat, bro? Do you get what I'm saying? Both chats. We've got 2 chats on. So what are we saying in the chat? What are we saying? I'm gonna. Do you know? I wouldn't even be honest with you. De Gea in his pomp was unreal.
Yeah, but I would argue Czech was actually unreal, bro.
Yeah, but De Gea was unreal as well. De Gea wasn't.
I think I would give it to Czech because I think. No,
Courtois, but I think Sensei's.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't argue Courtois just because I think Courtois' best years were at Madrid. I think that's where it is for me, to be honest. So I can't really argue it.
I don't think Courtois is in this discussion. Well, I'll go Van der Sar. Czech or Van der Sar. What are we saying? They both won the same amount of league titles. No. Czech won 4, but one of them he didn't do anything in.
Yeah.
Van der Sar won 5. No, Van der Sar won 4 as well, actually.
Yeah, Czech was that guy, bro. Czech was that guy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Czech was that guy, bro. The saves that he was pulling out, man, like he was insane, bro. Like he was part of part of a backline that did legendary things. If we're being quite honest, man, he was that guy.
Yeah, and what he did in the Champions League final, I probably would edge it Czech, to be fair, because what he did in that Champions League final, where he saved the penalty in extra time, and he saved him in the shootout, and basically won you the Champions League by himself. And didn't he save that penalty from Messi in the semi-final as well? So
I think that hit the bar, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, you might be right. Yeah,
he hit the bar, but yeah.
Oh or his presence, his aura in it. You know, I mean, put Messi off. So I'll
Yeah.
probably actually end it check. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
we can actually do. Yeah, we can do legends. Yeah.
I'll bet we can do
Yeah,
legends.
I'll go
Cool.
check. Yeah, right back though. I mean, we've got Gary Neville, Ivanovic. Is that the only two?
Yeah, I would
Who
do.
would you put forward for you? I'll go Gary Neville.
I'd put forward Ivanovic, to be honest.
And who are we saying? Who's better out of two?
I would say Ivanovic. I think Neville was really, really good, but I don't know if he was the strongest part of the United team that was doing crazy stuff. That should be personally, but I think Ivanovic
Yeah,
is
Gary Neville was unreal, bro. Hey, someone in your chat put Aspie.
Nah, I wouldn't put Aspie. Shout out Aspie, bro. Love him, but I don't think so.
Bro,
Yeah,
Neville's underrated. Neville's underrated.
I would do Ivanovic, bro. I just think our backline was insane for a very long time, bro. But
Neville,
I don't think Neville. I think Neville was good. I think it was really, really good. I just don't know if he was, because when we're doing odd times, we also have to take into account, right? Like you did, right? What were their impact on winning stuff for the team? Because when we talk all time, these were people that were winning.
Gary Neville was very impactful, by the way.
No, I know he was impactful. That's what I'm saying. You have to. I don't know. You could just ask the chat if that's what you want to do, because I think.
Oh, cool. If you want to go, Ivanovic. You ain't getting many players in this 11, so you can take the two.
That's because I would argue that like historically our defense, right, is the one that has been the most. It's part of the reason why we won so much. So.
Centre backs though. I mean, this one you might get one more in because
yeah, I would do Terry, and then you can put, and then you
put in.
I would just argue Terry because you guys have way too many legendaries like center backs you can put in. So you choose who you want to put in, but I would do Terry and then whoever you want. I wouldn't argue with you.
What you don't want to put two centre backs in for you lot?
I could I could do Carvalho, but like I don't know that he would beat out anybody else. You feel me? You could do Aspie, but again, I don't know that he's beating out anybody that you would put up. Which is what I'm saying. I think the strongest argument I can make is Terry, and I think you can make a stronger argument for anybody else that you would want to put in. So
I've got Ferdinand.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got Ferdinand. I've got who else? I've got Ferdinand. We'll go Terry. I think we can all agree Terry.
Yeah.
I got Ferdinand, Vidic.
That's what I'm saying. You decide who you want to put out of those. Like I won't argue with you, but
I got Ferdinand. Probably compliments Terry the best because of his recovery pace, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go with that. Left back though, after this one again, this is easy. Bro, I'm getting smoked right now.
I put Cole, but Chelsea defense, like this was a bit expected. I'll put Cole though.
Yeah, I think we'd all put Ashley
Yeah.
Cole.
Yeah, it's Cole, bro. Yeah, he was unreal.
Ashley Cole. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he snaked Arsenal, so
yeah. W, man. Yeah.
You got to put him in there.
No, I know.
There's one guy that goes straight in. There's one guy that goes straight in. Paul Scholes.
Yeah, put Paul Scholes in. Yeah, put Paul Scholes in.
Straight into this team. He's the best midfielder in Premier League history and one of the best.
Yeah, he was nice. He was nice.
Paul Scholes.
Straight
into that team, bro. He goes straight into that team. We've only got 2 United players in so far, though, bro.
Yeah, but you guys are gonna get You guys are probably gonna get a lot more in attack, though. Like it is what it is.
Yeah. What are we saying though? What are we saying? Who?
I'd put Super Frank, me personally, bro.
What in the pivot?
I wouldn't put him in the 10 necessarily because I think he wasn't really creative like that. So
Keane,
I don't know.
I'm not putting. If you're gonna go Keane, I never watched Roy Keane, so I don't know. I'm not putting Lampard in the 10 because I've got Rooney in the 10.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I put Lampard right next to him.
I'm not putting Lampard in. I'm not putting Lampard in because you're gonna get about 7 players in if I put Lampard in.
But bro, like his number. Okay, for what he did for as long as he did and the numbers he was putting up, bro, he was crazy.
He wasn't better than Rooney though.
No, but that's why I'm not putting him in the 10. That's why I'm not putting him in the 10.
Imagine a chat, brother. Midfielder, Rooney, Lampard, Scholes. What we doing here? Come on, man.
No, but we're not okay. But we're not doing. Oh, how would this team work together? We're doing all time.
Do a little bit of realistic,
bro. But Frank was too nice. You can't not put Frank, bro.
Frank Lampard used to play sometimes as a fucking up front with fucking Drogba. He used to be the final man in the box.
Because he was an elite. He was an elite poacher, but.
Then no bro. Okay,
yeah, cool. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like no Conte, but that's why I'm not arguing Conte. That's why I'm only arguing if he's gonna put Rooney in the 10, then all I'm gonna argue is Frank in the midfield as one of the 8s.
Then you're getting more players than me, bro. And that ain't how it's working, bro.
Okay, you got Ronaldo. right? I would give you guys
Ronaldo, bro,
Ronaldo.
we'll come back
That's
to
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Ronaldo on
We'll
the
come back.
right.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah, Ronaldo on the right. Yeah, I think we could all agree with that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm
no
saying?
question, no question. Listen,
Sorry,
shout out Robin and all these man, but Ronaldo's too
no
nice, bro.
chance.
There's nothing to
And then
say.
on the left, you've got Hazard, bro. I'm putting Hazard in definitely.
Yeah, I put Hazard
One of
in
my
for
favorite
sure.
players.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now what? Now what? And then even in
And you're putting Rooney. What, you're putting Drogba?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because you're not putting Rooney in the 9, right? So
Yeah, but even then, we've got good strikers. Van Persie was one, but I put.
yeah, but
fucking
Drogba in the
Hazard?
big.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. I'll swap Ivanovic out. I'll swap Ivanovic out and put Neville in. Because otherwise, you're going to have 8 players, and I'm going to have 3 on 4.
I'd be willing to do Ivanovic for if you put Frank. That's a trade I'm willing to make.
Oh, no worries.
That's a trade I'm willing to make. I'll give you that, bro. Because not having Frank in that midfield, bro, I can't.
Well, there you go, right? Neville, and then what you put Frank Lampard in the pivot, yeah?
Yeah, and then you put Rooney in the 10, and then that's pretty much, and then Drogba, and we're good. That I'm down with. I'm down with.
Hold on. Anyone else? Any other shouts? Any other shouts? Big up to everyone in the chat. Rooney over Drogba. Yeah, but Rooney's going in the 10.
Yeah, Rooney's going in the 10.
Any other shouts? Any other shouts? Like, what you saying?
Like the only thing is like some old heads, right? Like some old heads who watch maybe some of the other United, like the older United teams might be able to argue it, but we haven't watched it, so.
Yeah, watch it, Cantona.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We haven't watched it, so I can't really speak on it. I mean, shout out Tevez, but I don't know. He's making an all time, bro. That's kind of crazy.
No chance, mate. No chance.
Yeah, he's not making all time. Let's just say shout out Tevez, but he's not making all time.
I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. Like, do you know what I'm saying? He's one of them cunts. Nah, fuck him, mate. He ain't getting into this team, bro.
I hear you.
I mean, who's a player that shit? I'd rather put Hoyland in this team. I think we'll go Drogba because Drogba, I mean, his big game records speaks for itself.
I hear
you.
It.
I'm saying he's the best. For me, I think he's one of the best strikers of all time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're doing the defensive work. That's why I'd rather put Kante or personally than Lampard.
He never really had any crazy seasons with numbers in Drogba, but he turned up in the big moments. He only had one season where he really went like super crazy in terms of numbers. But
I'm talking about though in the midfield, yeah. Lampard, that's what he's saying. Like, who will do the defensive work? Because I'd put Kante Keane ahead, but you've got Essien and Makalele as well. You've got so many chances.
We have too many DMs, I know, but in terms of DM, like, but it feels wrong to not have Lampard there. Nah, Caicedo, he's too young, bro. But nah, man, I feel like I know I agree. You could put all time DMs because Chelsea, one thing we've had all time DMs. I agree with you. But to tell somebody, but to tell somebody though that, for example, to tell somebody, okay, all time 11, I'm gonna put in Conte over Frank. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Like, I love Conte, man. Shout out Conte, but
Matic as well. Yeah, you're right. Matic as well. Oh my days.
Yeah, it was a demon. That's true.
Bro, that midfield is gonna get run through, bro. We've got 14 million inside, people. Make sure you hit the sub button. Get me to 605 subs if there ain't 5 of you that ain't subscribed yet. I don't know, bro. I don't know because I would put fucking Kante or Makalele.
No, I agree. I'd put Kante, but am I putting Kante over Frank? Like, taking away how this team plays, am I putting Kante over Frank in an all time? I don't think so, bro.
Why? Kante's done more in his career than Lamps.
Yeah, but bro, he was in terms of trophies and stuff.
Yeah, World Cup. He didn't win the Euros, but he got to the final. No, he won the league with Leicester. He won the league with you.
I don't know, man.
He won the champs, and he was unreal in the Champions League.
I mean, I love Conte. I think he's underrated. But I don't know, man. If you want to put Conte, you can put Conte. But I just think a midfield without Frank, bro, I don't know, man. I loved Frank, Brand, as a kid. I don't know what to tell you. So
it should be 4-3-3, but then it'd be the same. It'd be the same team, bro. It'd be the same team because it's basic 4-2-3-1 is basically 4-3-3. Just
it does not change much. It does not change much for us right now.
It doesn't change anything to him.
Yeah, like it doesn't do much of anything. So up to you, bro.
Man, I would personally put Kante or King, but it's up to you.
But that's what I'm saying. I agree with comments. That's what I'm saying. Like, in terms of that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. If you don't, Frank is legit top 2 player for Chelsea. But that's what I'm saying. Like, in terms of what this team on screen needs, I agree. Conte. If what this team on screen needs is Conte. But an all-time 11.
Rooney or Lampard? Rooney or Lampard? Rooney or Lampard? That's okay. Because you've got the top 2 players for Chelsea, but then you've got top 5 players for Manchester United. It's Man United's top goal scorer, and he's actually United captain.
But that's why I was fine with just Rudy Frank. You're the one who's upset that Conte's not there more than me.
That my OCD's kicking in, bro. I can't.
That's fine. That's like I don't got a problem with Lampard Rooney.
Scholes, would it work? I don't know. I mean, Scholes. When we saw him with Gerrard,
that's what I'm saying. Like I would be fine with this all-time 11. But you know, but the thing is, Drogba. It's not about Drogba's consistency because remember I already told you like it's not about Drogba being able to score throughout the Premier League season. It's the fact that he showed up in big moments, bro. We're talking goals in every finals, man.
Drogba shouldn't be included. He was inconsistent. Rooney was inconsistent towards his latter career, but he has played in the Premier League career longer. But Drogba was so good in the big games.
He was.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't.
You know what? You know. Okay. But like, if this really messes you up, then I would push Rooney up to 9, put Frank in the 10, then put Conte behind them.
Hold on. How many players do you got then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. You got more players than me anyways.
But it fixes your OCD then. Because I take away Drogba, put Rooney in the 9. I agree, which is why I'm saying don't change it. You're the one who wants Conte in the team.
Drogba was so good in big games, bro. Yeah, Rooney was decent in big games.
No, I know, bro. No, I was telling the story the other day, bro. But when I was a kid watching the final, bro, I was in tears because I really thought we were finna lose. And then when Drogba put that header in, bro, that was one of the best moments of my life, bro. That's like a childhood memory, forever ingrained in me. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm gonna read some of these comments for a wrap up. That's the team I'm gonna go with then.
Yeah, we'll go with this.
We'll do this for
Let's not talk about them defensively, but offensively, they'll cook.
That's not the case. Caicedo hasn't been better than Ranier or Tonali, but constantly put him as one of the best DMs or CMs. It's not true. What do you think of that?
I mean, that's just cap. I don't know what to tell you. Like anybody who has a working pair of eyes knows Caicedo's been one of the best DMs in the league. The eyes prove it. His big
been better than
yeah, but at some point, like you just don't have to respond to rage bait. You feel me? Like it's clearly rage bait. Like, listen, I think Tonali's good, but even in this game, even in the Newcastle game, I think Caicedo was better than Tonali. Like taking away the goal. I think Tonali's a great player. I think I'm not dissing any of the players that you named, but I think Caicedo is literally like neck and neck with Gravenberch. I think Gravenberch is above because he won the league, but I think Caicedo's great, man.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Barca fans are against Rashi coming to Barca, but Rashi himself publicly admitted that it's his dream to play for the
Blaugrana.
Blaugrana, yeah. I think he's spelled it wrong though. I don't think it's that is. So why not just on loan for 2 seasons? Who can go? No, mate. If you want Rashford, you pay 40 million, brother.
No, I was about to say, like, bro, United aren't looking to loan him again. They want him to like just a clean slate. Yeah, they want him gone. Yeah, they want him gone. So you have to be prepared to buy him. Yeah, you'd have to be prepared to buy him.
If Spurs lose this, they will have a higher chance of becoming the next Everton of the 2010s, or even possibly worst case scenario, the Leeds United 2000s. They won't get relegated.
They won't. If they were ever gonna get relegated, it would have been this season, bro. But the teams that came up were so trash.
So shit. Do you know what I'm saying? So
they were all so bad. They're all so bad, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we could have got relegated. If they were any decent, we probably would have got relegated.
I mean, there are seasons when people have been relegated on like the point tallies that you guys are currently on, but it's too much. It's too much.
A lot of our points tallies as well has come against the relegation team.
Plus, you guys have players in your teams that are always gonna get you in more points than relegation teams. It is what it is. Like somebody like Casemiro, Maguire, Bruno, Ahmad, they're gonna get you games that you just shouldn't have no business getting 3 points out of. So it is what it is.
Liam Delap fancies a move to United. Not too bad considering his release clause is 30 million.
Yeah, because he got relegated. Yeah, because he got relegated, so his release clause is nice and cheap.
Every penny. He's a decent player, man. Bellingham went for 100 million. So by the way, so it's not that he's overpaid for Enzo. He should have been like 70.
But that's why I said the market's overinflated. That's not like on Enzo. That's just the way that the market is.
Doué has barely played football. Try and compare him to someone the level of Yamal. Yamal's clear of Doué, bro. Anyone that says Doué is anywhere near Yamal is deluded.
Yamal for me is the best player in the world right now, bar none. So
Doué's not better than Ahmad. It's so clear and better. Compare him to like Gula or Gavi. No, he's better than Gavi. When we say Gavi, he's better than Gavi.
Yeah, Gavi's carried by the fact that people associate him with Pedri. Respectfully.
Literally, they thought he was going to be because his name is similar to Xavi as well, isn't it?
I told you, bro. Like it's yeah. Is what it is.
Ugarte, Rasmus, and Garnacho. I wonder how they made it this far. I wonder how they became professionals, bro. To be honest, last summer I only predicted Masraoui, Euro, and to extent Xerxes to be good signers. To be fair, you're 2 out of 3. But Euro's more potential. Like Euro next season.
Euro also was unfortunate because he's been dealing with the injuries and stuff. So
yeah, next season Euro is going to be a bad boy. If Amarin stays, Chelsea finishes higher. Fairs. If Ineos gets rid of Arsenal, is considered a success. Yeah, Arsenal.
But who even buys Højlund though? That's my issue, bro. Like legitimately.
I think someone might take him out on loan. I don't know if they'll buy him.
I agree. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Buy.
Yeah, Amarin should be sacked regardless of the Europa final result. I disagree. Nothing is impossible. What RSM is saying is more evidence that backs up his claims. Yeah, cool. We'll see them, won't we, in the future, bro?
That's literally what that's my whole argument is. We will see. I think we need to see a full season of Amarim to really understand what's about him because he got presented with a really poor squad. That's not his fault.
You got hit with a raid, by the way.
Me?
Yeah, you got hit with a raid from something FC, I think.
Hey, listen, shout out, man. Yo, shout out everybody who rated. Yo, give me I don't know. It doesn't tell me. YouTube has been really, really poor with telling people when they get rated. So I have no clue. Rating me.
Casually FC.
Ah, Marshall. Yo, shout out all my Chelsea brethren. Yo, shout out Marshall, man. If you haven't liked the stream, If you haven't subbed. I'm on the road to 1K. So if you could sub up, that'd be great. Greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. And Touchline is he's linked in literally the title of the video. Is his @ you click it and it opens a new page and you're at his channel. So sub up to him too.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up anyways here because I've done 1 hour and 45. Bless up for coming on. Shout your channel out, bro, and what you got coming up.
Yeah, so I got the United game coming up, and then obviously everybody's gonna be wanting. Everybody, is glazing Anthony. They're Anthony's gonna. All right, bro. Let's see. Show up to my watch along when we watch Anthony 93rd minute get a banger of a goal to cut the lead down to 4-1. You feel me? Be there.
Yeah, I hit 600 ages ago, bro. Big up to everyone that's come through, man. Get me to 605 people. I'm gonna get to 1,000 ASAP, bro. I've gone through 500 to 600 like that, bro. Less than about 3 weeks. I've gone through 500 to 600. So bless up to everyone for coming on. Bless up to Will for the raid as well. Anthony,
yeah, bless up, man.
Bro, make sure you hit the sub button. Come on, get me to 605 if we can. And casually, wherever we be, we are the famous CFC. Casually rated. Yes, sir. Casually, we're the famous CFC. Casually rated. Big up to everyone. I'm gonna wrap up. Bless up to RSM. I've got.
Yes, sir.
What's tomorrow? Thursday.
Yeah, tomorrow's Thursday.
I don't know if I've got anything planned on Thursday, but I'll be live Friday for the watch long Chelsea versus Man United, and then I'll be live Saturday for the FA Cup final watch long between Crystal Palace and Manchester City.
Yeah, shout out Crystal Palace, man.
There'll be another stream as well on a Sunday or Thursday. I probably will do a stream. If I don't do a stream tomorrow, I'll do a video. I'll do something tomorrow.
You're streaming the final, right? Imagine.
What final? The FA the Europa League final.
Europa, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be live for the final. But yeah, bless up to everyone for coming through. I'm out, people.
Peace. Yo, have a good one, brother. Take care, man.
Big up for coming on, bro.
Peace. Yo, all right, people. What's up? Yo, shout out to all the Marshall Raiders. Yo, shout out to all the Marshall Raiders. Let me get the. Yo, shout out you guys, man. I hope you're having good. Like I said, if you haven't liked the stream, hit a like. You feel me? If you haven't subbed up. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. Listen, this brother wants to believe that United are gonna overtake us. Listen, it's all fun and games until a ball is kicked. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's all fun and games until a ball is kicked, man. I agree, but listen, you know what it is, bro? Like, there's takes on his side. Yup. Yeah, shout out the Marshall Raiders, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where, like, if somebody is digging themselves into a hole, just let them dig themselves into a hole. You feel me? You don't really got to do anything crazy about it. If they want to dig themselves into a hole, let them dig themselves into a hole. All of this will be proven right or wrong next season. And I truly believe we're going to finish above them. I think they're going to be like 8th or 9th, maybe 7th at best. And that's what they're doing next season. So all they got to do is wait, and time puts everything in its place, bro. That's a saying in Spanish. El tiempo pone todo en su lugar. You feel me? Time puts everything in its place. That's all I got to do. Yo, big up Star Slayer, man. Yeah, bro. It's they're far from reality. Let me check before I end my stream. By the way, let me check to see if there's any news that has dropped for Chelsea Football Club. I doubt it. But listen, shout out everybody's also watching me UK hours because I know it's late night for y'all. So I greatly appreciate it, man. I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's check. Any news? His transfer targets that they'll get everyone. That just gave me. That's what I'm saying. Like, his assumption is that they get every target, we get none. We somehow collapse. Maresca loses. Like it's too much. It's too much. Yeah. There's nothing. I do want to see what. Now that I have you guys here, though, I do want to talk about this. What y'all saying about this? I see mismo exactly, bro. Yo, what y'all saying about this though? What are we saying on this, guys? What are we saying on this? What are we saying on this? Because me personally, bro, give me the money, bro. You feel me? Give me the money, bro. Give me the money. Real talk. Give me the. Put it right now, bro. Put it in my hand. Put it in my hand, bro. Jackson gone. Somebody want to buy him. Say less, brother. Say less. This is a W. That's what I'm saying. It's a W, man. I need this. I need this, bro. Jackson had a 60 million beat. Yep. I agree, Marshall, bro. I if we get UCL, bro, I will hop again. I will believe in the Osimhen train, bro. I will believe, bro. I will believe. Because I think even Pies did. Let's see, hold up. Because he did a poll. If a bid comes in, how much would it take for you to sell Jackson? He cost 31 million. To be honest, give me a cool 60, bro. People would take 4, bro. People want to get rid of him. That's crazy, bro. His departure was written on the wall last Saturday. Both, honestly. Yeah, I just think Jackson is kind of cooked, bro. Especially if we're gonna keep playing this cross-heavy system and we're going to continue facing a ton of low blocks. We're cooked, bro. Like, Jackson against low blocks is nothing. And even then, when he's not against the low block, he's inconsistent. It's bad, bro. I agree, Morning Zombie, by the way. This report was what's giving me that hope. I think even Chelsea Dodgers poses something that our list is still there. And, guys, again, what I'm about to say, by the way, has to stay in the stream. Because I think I took a screenshot of it, and I'm going to repeat what I heard, but it has to stay in the stream, bro. Okay. So there is a source within the club. All right, that is saying Chelsea have 4 players that they will break the wage structure for. Isak, Rodrigo, Kane, and an unnamed 4th player who I think is Osimhen. Because I think he's going to lower his demands when he realizes nobody in Europe is paying that much. I ain't gonna lie, though. Break the wage structure for Isak. Hold up, my bad. There you go. Yo, that is nothing, bro. That's nothing. That's nothing, bro. He's on 120. Look at this. Isak is currently on 120. Bro, that is nothing. Real talk. That is literally nothing, man. Yo, Barca volume. Big up, my brother. I think Joao Pedro very proven the Premier is getting better every season. Yep. But bro, I'm telling you. You have jokes? I'm not saying jokes. Hold up. I'm not saying jokes. I'm saying that sources within the club, they're saying that that Isak is one of the players that they would break the wage structure for. That's it. That's all that it is. It's not saying that we're gonna go in for him. It's not saying that that Newcastle's willing to trade, to accept an offer. All it's saying is that he's one of the players that they said if he becomes available and we have a shot to get him, they will break the wage structure for Isak. That's it. I'm not saying anything more than that. So if Isak, for example, becomes available on the market, we will be in for him. That's pretty much all that confirms. If Rodrigo is available on the market, we will try to go in for him as well. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that we will get him or that it's 100%. All I'm saying is that, like, if he does become available on the market, I have some sources that can confirm that we will at least be there for him and we will be willing to break our wage structure for it. That's it. Again, if he gets other offers, there's no guarantee that he comes to us. If he gets offered from Liverpool, I think he goes to Liverpool, but it is what it is. We're eating good. We're eating good because, bro, we're getting Esteval, right? We're getting Santos back in. These are two very good defenders, bro. Midfielders, bro. Because Esteval would be like a 10, or he could even play on the wing. But I'm telling you, I think there's enough next season to where I think if we have a decent enough window, we can be in and around the title race for way longer than we were this season. I'm sad we can't put a good team against you guys this Friday, so it's a free win for you. Yeah, I mean, you guys can't risk any more injuries. You've already lost the lick, right? You already Euro is injured. You feel me? You don't want to risk Manu. You don't want to, again, it just so happened that for whatever reason the Europa League final is in the middle of the end of the season. But yeah, you guys are focused on Wednesday. Yep, Chilwell, Sterling. We have to see. And even with Fofana, bro, like, I'm gonna be so real with you, man. Like, Fofana, you better come back from the surgery and put in consistent minutes. You can't have one more injury filled season for Fofana, and he's got to go. He has to go, bro. He has to go. We can't handle anymore. He has to go, bro. And it is what it is. But that's about it, guys. That's about it. All right, so. Listen, people. I have already set up the watch along for the United versus Chelsea stream. So that's already up on the channel. So I'm gonna catch you guys then. Shout out everybody that tuned in. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing. I see we got some subscribers. Thank you, as always. Bless up. I appreciate you guys. Shout out Morning Zombie. You feel me? Shout out Santi. Shout out Star Slayer. Shout out Baylor. Shout out Marshall. Shout out anybody that tuned in. I appreciate y'all. Y'all some real ones. Also, Morning Zombie and Santi, as always. I appreciate you guys always tuning in. Y'all some real ones. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you may be. Friday, we will be there. Yeah, peace out. Yo, stay safe. Stay blessed. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Peace out, y'all. Stay safe. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Peace.